Okay, welcome to the Can We Be Frank show. Good evening, everyone. I hope you guys have had a great midweek. I know I have. I cannot complain. Mr. T, did you have a great week? Today? Was it productive?
Yeah, it was extremely productive.
Okay, great. That's what I want to hear. What did you learn today?
Hold on, your intro is playing.
Huh?
You still got music playing in the background.
Okay, let me see what's going on. Hold up. Oh, I hear it. I see what's playing. Okay.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, there we go. I got it.
All right, yeah, no, everything's all good, man. I don't have a complaint in the world.
Okay, so you guys know we usually do the city council meeting. Can I ask you something? Can you set it up for me? I'm putting it on, but can you set up can you just give me a little bit of something?
I don't know anything.
Okay, that's why I can't stand him.
Out.
I can't stand a person like him.
You got to share this out.
Okay. So give me a second. I'm going to pull it up.
Facebook, go to your Facebook, go to Universal Collective Network, hit the share button, and it's going to, send it to people that you watch the show, because they might not know we're on yet.
Okay. Okay, give me a second.
That's usually what I be doing during those long intros.
Oh, now I can hear you. It sounds like you're getting close to the phone.
Oh, no, I'm on the microphone.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
That's right, folks. I'm on my 35th Facebook account. I got to set it up. Apparently, I'm supposed to be banned for some reason. I'm pretty sure I know why. Them crackers did it. Them crackers get away with it.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started here. Give me a second. Since Tavares is worthless on this one, we're just going to go ahead.
I know. I didn't digest the whole city council meeting. I was kind of out of it when I was listening to it.
Okay. All right, I'm going to put it on.
All right.
Myself, I'm the chairman, Councilman Johnson. I also have Councilman Jules Green, Councilman Malcolm Labadan. Alexandria City Council meetings and committee meetings are broadcast live and may be viewed on Optima Cable Channel 4, and rebroadcast can be viewed on Optima Cable Channel 4 and the City of Alexandria website, www.cityofalexandria.com. Okay, this is to consider final adoption of ordinance authorizing the 2025-2026 major budget amendment. Item 6. Now open to you, Mayor.
Yes, I'll do an opening and in the summary, and have Paul here to do the details if there's specific questions that he's needed for. So first, welcome back, everybody, and Happy New Year. And just a general reminder for anyone new, although most of you have served either before and this wouldn't be your first, but for the audience and others, the major budget amendment of this year represents essentially no major set of changes to the budget. So some years it can be a whole lot of reconciliation, other years not. I would never say non-material just because we're dealing with big numbers, and so materiality is not necessarily the word. The statute itself that forces you to reconcile at midpoint already sort of presupposes that it's material. for you to have to do it. So the purpose of the presentation is to highlight changes and ensure understanding the budget remains as adopted with the required material adjustments as revenue and expenses are trued up. A fancy way of saying, as the year goes on, you predict what revenue will be, you predict what expenses will be, then you have to true up where they are according to state law. And it is required that we do this by state law. So we'll go through what we would call a summary of this current reconciliation, which we would call a routine version. By routine reconciliation, I mean it's a regular process of reviewing and updating the budget to ensure it accurately reflects changes in the current revenues and expenses as they were predicted to be versus now. You can have real minor ones, as I said, or really deeper ones. The key areas we review for this summary would be operating expenses, revenue projections, capital projects, departmental budgets, reserve funds, et cetera. And so looking at that, I will just tell you that each of you has this set of documents which will show up what has changed, and here's the highlights, and then we can begin answering questions. Revenue, we're increasing sales tax prediction by 5.571 million. So we're predicting that the revenue for sales taxes will be more than originally budgeted by 5.571 million. That's a good sign. But with that is a corresponding use of prior year revenues. So that goes from where it was to 4.828. But that results in a decrease in the transfer from the utility by 3.233 million. So dropping the transfer from utility that used to normally be in that 5%, dropping it, recognizing the increase in sales tax and the use of prior funds. Expenses.
All right, so Mr. Mayor, I have a question. So you said we've had 5.571 million more than estimated in sales tax revenue?
We increase that we will be up by 5.571 by year's end.
So we budget conservatively, and then we check at the halfway point of the year. And if it's looking like it's going to be consistent with previous years or higher, we go ahead and up the budget to make it more accurate.
All right, is that, I know that's a good thing, almost $6 million. And that comes from people purchasing items and paying sales tax for goods in the city of Alexandria.
Yes. We won't know our Christmas numbers till February-ish. It's a 2-month lag, but
Now, do we know why? I mean, is this increase normal?
well, I mean, that's a deeper question. We talk about it every year at budget, but just to get into it a little. Just looking at Alexandria historically, Mr. Johnson, I would say that Alexandria, while it doesn't maybe have these great waxes up, it also never had the wanes. Obviously, COVID and the real economic challenges back in the 2010s posed a little bit different, but Alexandria used to grow between 2 and 4% a year. So that would be a normal growth. So again, while that isn't a big spike like you may see in other cities, our 2 to 4% was 2 to 4, maybe 6 sometimes was a guarantee, which allows you to predict and is a very good thing if you look at that over time. So if you look at a Lafayette, which can have big waxes, but it's also had big wanes, big dips, that's less predictability.
Pause.
Budget more conservative now, both because of COVID and just because.
You said they got big wings and they got big what? You're on mute.
Okay, I couldn't understand.
He said that Lafayette has big wings and big what?
I don't know. Let me go back. Let me look. Let me.
Yeah,
look.
because that didn't sound right. I think that needed a pause.
Okay.
That Alexandria, while it doesn't maybe have these great waxes up, it also never had the wanes. Obviously, COVID and the real economic challenges back in the 2010s posed a little bit different, but Alexandria used to grow between 2 and 4% a year. So that would be a normal growth. So again, while that isn't a big spike like you may see in other cities, our 2 to 4% was 2 to 4, maybe 6 sometimes was a guarantee, which allows you to predict and is a very good thing if you look at that over time. So if you look at a Lafayette, which can have big waxes, but it's also had big wanes, big dips.
Oh,
That's less
okay,
predictable.
all right.
We budget more conservatively now, both because of post-COVID and just because of the nature of being a sales tax-based city and just such difference in purchasing because people, it's just a different time. So we're going to naturally react conservatively. As y'all know, the national economy was a strange mix of
It's a big peculiar.
lack of what people would call affordable purchasing power versus some big spikes in money. So they're depending on who you are in the economy, you might have looked at it like it's been booming, but not for everybody. So some people would see it differently. So we would naturally budget conservatively, and we list that in our budget message to you every year.
So is this an increase from last year?
This,
The 5.571?
oh yeah, well, you mean over the top of the budget will have to be bigger than last year's at the end of this.
It's still going to be a slight beat. The budget is still below the actuals for the prior year.
Okay, what does that
Just
mean?
allow for a backslide.
So we would never
Who was that
budget
talking?
last year's actual to always give yourself room.
We're always going
come
to
in
stay
over.
conservative to see where we come in.
All right.
So we wouldn't look at this prediction and go, oh, we're adjusting up. Let's adjust so up that we would still stay. Think of it like when you pay your quarterlies, the safe harbor rule. You pay 100 to 110% of the last thing, which can hurt because you can say, I know I'm not going to do that, or I am, but you're required to be safe. It's the other way. We're required to be conservative. And so we're not going to budget and predict revenue that's way above, even if we think it's coming, because if it doesn't, then that
It's a
knocks you
problem.
out a different way.
So just, so
And because it's state law.
so the
571.
5.571, that's still prediction because you're just basing off what you got and predicting that
Okay, thank you,
at
Mr.
the end, it'll probably be that, it'll probably be
Yeah.
lower, it might probably be
It
higher.
might be more. I mean, we have to stay 5% behind.
Yeah, it's 5%.
5% rule.
Now, is that,
General fund.
is that amount consistent with a city of ours growing?
I mean, yes, and we're going to talk a lot about that in not this next meeting, not the next meeting of the council come, but after that, I have a plan that you've asked for that we're going to be talking about and unpacking for you. And we're going to talk a lot in depth about that, where there's growth, what growth challenges there are, choices not to maybe add population because of the cost of infrastructure to fix those areas to bring them in when they're really already right there in the city. They're just not technically in the city. We have to weigh all of that. And so you will see that there has been movements all around in the region, but if you're only looking at it through a lens of population, that can fool you because population is not exactly
Right.
the purest indicator. You've got to look at sales tax, or one of my big ones is what are car lots doing? Where do you see expansion of that?
Hold on.
What businesses are expanding? How many permits are there versus other years? Are people asking for more construction or not? Where are neighborhoods being asked to annex? So for example, if you took in certain neighborhoods that already would love to be in the city, you would jump up your population. But the cost to bring them in and fix the ailing infrastructure exceeds what they would pay to be in-city customers in every way, especially with the low cost of our utilities. It would be a catastrophe. It would be really
Hey,
risky.
DJ,
The other thing is you have
neighborhoods
that want to come in and be built in the city, but may not be at the standards, or they're asking to build a whole new set of houses in an area where we'd like to see them. So overall for Bayou Rapides would.
Golly, your reaction time is slow. And you on mute.
I'm sorry, y'all. Hey, you guys, how y'all doing tonight? Thank you for coming in. Thank you. How the
Make sure
city
y'all
going
share
with
it out. Share it loud.
He's talking about Versailles.
Now,
If
I
you
felt
listen
like he
to
was
what
talking about, I thought he was talking about over there, down boat. I mean, yeah, all the way down boat.
I don't know, but I'm getting it like he's saying we don't need more people because of the infrastructure. Did he say something like that?
He said that if the population increased, would the city be able to handle the influx in infrastructure cost or whatever? But my thing is, aren't there parts of Alexandria that are already established that all you would have to do is annex them in, and you know, the services will be a lot better. What's that place out there where Jay Scott live at?
Yeah, you're right.
What's the name of it?
Hold on, y'all gonna see. Okay, he said we're gonna see. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I'm saying, where's that area at? Down
I
below.
don't know. I don't know where you talking about. Oh, you talking about out there going toward Kelly Land.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So that area could have been annexed into the city because that's already a populated area
That's right.
with infrastructure already there. The city just refuses to do it. Now, if you turn around and say that Kelly Land can't be annexed into the city, but then turn around and say Versailles can, then
Yeah.
what's the problem here? Like, what
Yeah.
are we disconnecting here? Like, why are we having this issue?
Yeah, he wants more money. They have no infrastructure in place for bigger business. Yeah, of course. That's true. I can believe that.
Yeah, and the thing is, I don't mind Versailles being those parts of Versailles being annexed into the city, but we shouldn't talk about annexing no more new communities into the city until we get Kelly Land into the city, because they don't have any representation. If you annex Kelly Land into the city, let me see what district would that be. I would say that's District 1.
Yeah, that would probably fall up under District 1.
Yeah, that would be District 1. Or
It
2.
can also be District 5 too.
No.
No, I get what you're saying. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
because
right.
District 5 stops at a certain point. I know, but it's back to back. That's where the 1 and 5 would meet right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, no, because you got the England Air Park in between all that, and that's no man's land. Yeah, the England Air Park, the Air Authority owns that. That's not in the district. So you got between District 5 and that will potentially become District 1. You would have a separator in between there. So the actual area of it would be clean cut. Now, again, the only reason I'm having this conversation is because if you're not talking about annexing Kelly Land into the city, where those people that spend their money in Alexandria
Yep.
could actually see some type of benefit instead of these new projects, you're going out there on the side, you're annexing places that don't even got a population yet. These people have been over here for years without city services or without the support of the city. Matter of fact, they on Clico, if I'm not mistaken. They're not even in the city like Alexandria.
They are on Clico.
So yeah, we need to talk about that. Those are Alexandrians. They live and work and they spend their money in Alexandria. Annex them. It's not Kelly Land, Louisiana. It's Alexandria, Louisiana. That's your address. So annex them into the city. That's what I'm moving for. Annex Kelly Land into the city. Get you some more people on the. Oh man, that would mess everybody up right there, because that's a whole new voting precinct.
He wants business, not people. That's what he's saying. He wants
Oh
business.
yeah, I don't listen. You have to be attract. You have to have the people here to attract the businesses. If all your communities surrounding that business aren't being serviced the way they're supposed to be serviced, how can you even think about, like, you have to lay the groundworks in order to get to that level. And we haven't laid the groundworks. Matter of fact, Jock refuses to lay the proper groundworks to get us to that level. It's like talking in a circle. Yeah, I want more businesses to come here, but I don't want to grow the community. I don't want the communities to come up. You know, and that's all there is to it. I want businesses, not people. That's silly, because you need, like, you're putting the employee, the people that could potentially be these employees to these businesses, you're putting their needs on the back burner. So now what you're doing is, instead of catering to the people, you're catering to businesses. When in reality, you're so fucked up with the people, you need to focus on the people. You focus on these communities and these infrastructures in these communities, not the infrastructures for the business. People first. Screw them businesses. I know Deborah Randolph got them by the short and curlies, but F them businesses. Get the people straight. Get the people straight. They got an engineer for everything. Engineer some help for them people down there in Kelly Land. Make sure it don't flood. Whatever they got to do over there. But again, the Kellyland is what is the race of the population majority of Kellyland? Black folks, ain't it? Am I tripping?
No, you're right. That's right. The majority is black. That's why the people are not important. Businesses are.
All right, I guess we can keep that.
Be a place we would call a green area, meaning it meets all our safety, all our infrastructure desires, but the housing that people want to go put in it, adding all those houses next to Bon Air, what's the other neighborhood, the gated one? Left Bank and all that creates a huge traffic problem on queuing on MacArthur, on getting that traffic. You already know it if you're trying to go to Mandarin or whatever. So those are all indicators of the desire to do things, but we have to think through them as we do them. So there'll be 5 or 6 different indicators of growth that we'll be happy to show you. We'll also tell you some things that we know are on the horizon or coming, and some potential projects that are on the horizon that are really good for the community.
Okay.
Having said all that, this prediction is just a pure sales tax prediction. So this is, we see that it's going up. We're still going to be conservative, but we're adjusting by 5.5.
Now, I have a question. Where are the areas where this sales tax is being generated?
Well, all over the city.
I mean, I
All
understand that,
over the
but are we
city.
able to track to see what areas are producing more than others?
Nope.
Or,
Yeah.
or am I just asking? Like,
No,
is it-
that level of granularity could be done. Sure.
I ain't never thought about it like that.
I'm not sure if we don't track, so the parish where we get it will not track it that way. I'm suggesting that we have the ability to either use current tech or acquire the tech to do that.
Yeah, so we can
And-
see
and we
where,
would-
where the sales
would
tax
do
revenue,
that.
where it's coming
You're
from.
going to have a lot in the Versailles corridor where there's a lot of retail growth that produces at a higher end, but it'd be a misconception to assume only there. It's everywhere. It's everywhere restaurants are all over the city. Anywhere sales are occurring on any level, they're going to be producing sales tax.
Hold up.
Mayor, in addition to the higher sales tax projections, the city also has added 2.5 million in additional intergovernment revenue. We're using 4.8 million in prior year 2 funds to balance the budget. And also you're transferring 3.23 million out of the utility fund into the general fund. So as Mr. Larvin was saying, trying to track where it's at, because I was reading the LSU Alexandria Central Louisiana Economic Dashboard, which says our collections are down compared to last year. That raises the budget amendments really where they're being measured. Am I reading that wrong?
Yeah, so it's negligible, it's almost flat, like, I think it was minus
Less than
0 point something, so I would not, so we don't even have our Christmas quarter in, which is the one Alexandria kind of states last, because we're the biggest retail center. So I know what the dashboard said, and I understand there's some, you got to read it a little more carefully.
Did he just say we're the biggest retail center? Chat.
I can't hear you.
Chat, did he say that Alexandria is the biggest retail center?
Yeah, he did say that.
Who the? Where?
Let me tell you why he has a problem with tracking. Do you know that there are software systems in place in cities that are kind of upgraded that can tell you exactly where majority of their sales tax is coming from?
There is always, if the police have the pre-crime recognition software that they have up there, I know for a fact that you could do that shit with QuickBooks.
Yeah. He was talking about in the parish, Tavares, not in the state. He talking about in the parish
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I was a little worried about that. It was like, wait a minute. Of course we are. We're the parish. You know what? I hate those points that are already like foregone conclusions.
Exactly. He tried to make it
course.
sound like it's something extraordinary when it's really
But
not.
actually, wouldn't Pineville be in close competition with them? Pineville would be above them.
Well, no, it could be, but it's impossible. The reason why it wouldn't be because Pineville doesn't have the stores.
Yeah, we do.
You got to keep that in mind. Pineville doesn't have the stores.
So
And
now we getting down to the nitty gritty, right? Because we can locate those stores, right?
yeah,
And
that's exactly right.
Yeah, we can locate these stores and
But he
find out
said
how much.
Versailles. Did you hear what he said? He said Versailles because it has a lot of retail. But that don't make any sense because if it's only Versailles that's having all the money coming in, what's the rest of Alexandria? So Kroger's. Okay, so let's talk about Kroger's, Super One, Albertsons. That's not Versailles. The mall.
Yeah, but see what they'll do is they'll group Super One into Versailles.
But you can break it down. You can break it down to all the
because it's so close to Versailles. They will say that Versailles has had an impact. Or
yeah, that's how they push that narrative that Versailles is having such an impact on everybody. Yeah, I know what he's doing. I know what he's doing.
Mr. Foshi said Pineville will surpass Alexandria in a few years, and the nursing homes are full of new votes. Ooh.
Yeah, you're right.
You know,
you're right.
And so now I do listen. I want you guys to look at this through the lens of campaign season. We're not talking about buttons and banners and slogans. We're talking about trying to campaign because he knows that the gig is up. He's never thought he'd be in a situation where so many things would consecutively bite him in the ass and he would have to run for cover. He's been running for cover for at least the last 3 months. Ever since we said that gerrymandering shit, that he was behind that, when we pointed that out and showed everybody how the guy from the Rapides Parish Planning Commission said that the city called him up there. And then Brother Jay Scott said that he was in a meeting with the guy and the guy told him, I got to run up to the mayor's office, blah, blah, blah. And Jay Scott waited for him to come back. And Jay Scott says that he told him that they're on his ass about gerrymander. And they want those maps re-gerrymandered. Right? I say all that to say this. That's one lick. Then you got when he tried to pre-apply for that bond, that's 2 licks. Then you got all the golden nuggets Jules be dropping on him. And you don't know when that's going to happen. And you don't know what agenda item. Jules is like us. And I hope you watch it. Because Jules is a lot like us. If we see something on that agenda and we know a little something about it or we can research what it is, we're going to dig underneath it. And we're going to ask the questions. That's why they don't want us up there. But I'm so glad Jules and Malcolm is up there asking them damn tough questions. Because the mayor seems like he doesn't have a proper explanation for none of this shit. And I don't feel confident in what he's saying. Conversationally, I feel like the mayor is talking off of his back foot. Like he's not all the way. He's coming up there to defend these amendments, right? But he doesn't know what questions are going to pop up. Like he doesn't know when they're going to catch him slipping. And he's going to say the wrong thing. That's why we pay so close attention, which is back to the point of why I paused it, is because he said that we're the largest retailer. Now, saying that we're the largest retailer in the parish is a foregone conclusion. Not only are we the heart of the parish, but we're like the heart of Cenla. So everybody comes to Cenla to come shop and do things, especially Alexandria. Matter of fact, majority of the people that come through Cenla will not be able to get through Cenla without going through Alexandria. So of course it's busy over here. But at the same time, it's nah, bro. Get them numbers broke down. You can play it. Get them numbers broke down. Let's find out who's spending the most money.
I don't know that it's going to be down by February. I think we're going to see. I look like a pretty big Christmas out there, but we'll see. So it was, it's hard for me to give you a calculation on 0.38, I think it was, or some, talk about a 1%. That's not a lot. And we don't have our final quarter in, so.
So you're saying, according to the dashboard, it was less than 1% down from last year?
Compared to the same period.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but that's without December. And
Yeah.
so even though you're comparing it to the same period, you can do that. You can say in August for August, but there can be other factors that go into that. Remember, we're, as the bigger retail center for this whole region, we're gonna always be competing with the smaller area cities that over time have redirected and have some of those resources. So if you think about when we were growing up, Mr. Larverdane, kind of had to come to Alexandria for lots of stuff. Well,
Not anymore.
that's all redirected, and this redirects more of it than anything. And so to be holding where we are is not a bad thing. It's a good thing. You just have to, the dashboard is a snapshot of a compare year over year. We're going to see what happens in the last quarter, but it'll be telling for us. So your other question was about yes, increasing the prior year revenues as a prediction and dropping down the transfer from utility is a good thing, because since the first time I was married there, all I want to do is see us rely less on the utility. We also will be reporting that.
Wait a minute.
7 million.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. That's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie. Can you run it back like 5 seconds?
To be holding where we are is not a bad thing. It's a good thing. You just have to, the dashboard is a snapshot of a compare year over year. We're going to see what happens in the last quarter, but it'll be telling for us. So your other question was about yes, increasing the prior year revenues as a prediction and dropping down the transfer from utility is a good thing, because since the first time I was married there, all I want to do is see us rely less on the utility. We also will be reporting that the pass-through is going to be how much less? 7 million. 7 million less. So that's 7 million that's just passed on to our customers. To the benefit.
So what does that mean to the, so put that in layman's terms for people watching this movie, watching this meeting. What does that mean?
So the utility bill has two main parts. We're not a fee-driven part like others, where we just can add a fee here and there. We're a rate, and our rate in electric utilities has not been raised since 1986. So think about that versus bread or commodities or other things. It's been lowered once by me in 13 or somewhere around, can't remember the year. Anyway, the other ones are very low on a comparative basis. So removing rate, which is what people are charged, we pass through the fuel cost. So what we pay to buy the fuel and create is passed on. There's a tiny percent that it's not a pure dollar for dollar, but it's for practical purposes a dollar for dollar. We don't make anything. We don't do anything.
So the city makes.
It's called line loss benefits. Yeah. So what we're saying is there's going to be 7 million. He's going to be.
Did everybody hear that? Am I tripping? Because I ain't tripping, am I? I can't see the screen. What the screen say? We need the land.
I can barely hear you.
Oh, they can hear me though. You can't hear me, but they can hear me.
Okay, so what did you say?
So, did he just say that we have the lowest rates, right?
Okay.
Right. But he's dancing around the fact of the fuel cost is being, he said, a pass through. What a pass-through is, while he's not explaining it specifically, is that the cost of the fuel is passed on to us as the consumer. So the city doesn't spend their own money on the gas, they spend your money on the gas to a utility system that you don't even own. You have a utility system, but you don't operate it. Somebody else does. And half the time it's not even on. So your DG Hunter doesn't even create power for the city of Alexandria, yet you pay all this money for it. That's the pass-through. We don't have to be involved with myself. He chose to be involved with myself. Matter of fact, they brought extra property so they could get involved with myself. We have two turbo twins out in the middle of nowhere, because that's the requirement. You have to have so many turbines. You have to own so many turbines to be a part of myself. And so we didn't have enough to get in with just DG Hunter, so we had to go buy Bayou with your money. That's what he said about having the lowest. I've been trying to rely less and less on the utility. That's a lie. That's a bold-faced bear, dog, pig, fucking lie. That's a lie. And he knows he's lying. That's why he didn't say exactly where the money goes about the gas. He called it a pass-through. And he could have just as easily said, that's we charge that's on the bill as well. Yeah. He could have said that 1,000 different ways, but he knows why he said it the way he said it, because he doesn't want everybody just knowing that the pass-through means that he passes on the cost directly to you. And he said dollar for dollar. So there is no profit. Who would have thought of it being a profit? Unless you was trying to steal. And how do we know what the rates are? Nobody tells us. So yeah, the whole DG Hunter, that utility thing is a scam. Jock Roy's got y'all in the scam. It's a pyramid scheme. Oh my God. Hold on. We need, okay, Elaine Lee Rubin then voted to raise the rates. Our bill was $340 from January. God damn. We are supposed to own it, but we lease the power to Clico, and they have tried to give it to Clico. I mean, yeah. And I said, damn. Winterfeld, this town has always relied on the power plant. Listen, this ain't nothing. This ain't no secret that I'm telling y'all. I'm carrying the show here. My back is starting to hurt.
What?
I'm carrying the show here. My back is starting to hurt.
You'll be all right. Be a man.
You want me to bounce it and take a layup with it? I can't. No, I'm just playing.
Cindy, it'll be $7 million less than budgeted. So that's going to be.
So the ratepayers will be paying less because the pass-through will be less.
Their pass-through will be less.
The fuel cost will be less. That's what that means.
Look, it's not trickery. It's easy. We just are careful how we say it because someone will try to twist the words y'all are saying.
Oh, look at that. I nailed it.
Because the pass-through
Pause it.
not happen.
I nailed it. Look, did I nail it, guys? I nailed that shit. I nailed it. Where's the applause button? Come on now. Y'all give it up. Come on now. I ain't even watched this. Not all
Did
of
you hear what he said?
I picked that up. I peeped that from the door. I knew what he was doing. And that's why I just said what I said. Now look at that. Who could have predicted that? I called the bullshit. But guess what? He already came prepared. Go ahead and play that roll, that beautiful bean footage.
Passed on to them 7 million in difference. That's a good thing for them.
That is, okay.
Okay. Anyway, so
That nigga sounded defensive.
Hold up. Listen. Now, if we can go back several years, and do y'all remember my conversation I had with Marcotte on Facebook? I don't know if y'all can remember, but I had a conversation with Marcotte on Facebook. And it's so funny that 7 million was how much he said when I asked about all that money that they were supposed to be getting back for the Clico deal. The people were supposed to be getting back from the Clico lawsuit. He said to me that you got it back. The people got it back in $7 million in savings. Do y'all remember that?
Savings? I can't fucking, I mean, what kind of savings? You gonna apply it to my account?
Excuse me. No, they weren't going to show them that. They weren't going to. He said he got it. It came through your bill, not you got it good in your put in your. He said it was 7 million in savings. You got the amount that you got, but it was more. And the other amount he said you got $7 million in savings. That just kicked something in because I remember Marcotte saying the same thing.
Are they running the same play?
Huh?
They running the same play?
That's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like.
Champ. Yeah, they be forgetting. We don't forget.
I remember that. That me and Marcotte had that conversation because he didn't like what I was saying. And I said, well, where's the rest of the money? And he said, you received it in $7 million in savings.
In savings. Yeah, that means that we saved it for you. We saved it for you.
And I asked the question, do y'all remember getting $7 million in savings? And everybody said no.
See what he's saying.
Let me see. Everybody said no. Yeah, we don't remember no savings. All right, let me get back to it.
removing the transfer from the utility is both a good practice to keep lessening it, but it's also becoming a necessity because the utility is so cheap. So regardless of all of the constant drumbeat of high utilities, which is just absolutely false, 100%, the drumbeat also hurts because the utility can't keep passing on what anybody else would pay in a franchise fee. So if you're with Clico or someone else, that 5% is a norm. We do that for ourselves because our utility is like a private business utility, at least as to the city. We're not going to be able to do that any longer. So that's a choice, and that's fine if the rate maker makes a choice. But what you don't want to do is keep taking from the utility because it needs its money for its future infrastructure. So you can't have the utility paying the general fund money if it's not by rate and pass through in a position to do so.
So it sounds like we need to work on increasing our sales tax revenue.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's not driven by us. That's driven by the people who want to come here and spend their money.
Yeah, it's nice to say that, but brings up a good point because we hear it a lot. City government doesn't create sales tax.
I know, I'm just saying.
Government doesn't sell a hamburger.
People are not that stupid, okay? They're not. They know that. So you tell me, why do you have a revenue? Because that's what it is, a revenue stream, right? So the revenue stream is not supposed to put back into the general fund?
And you can make a separate sales tax That's what he's talking about.
Exactly.
And you can vote on it and you can see if people want it or not.
Exactly.
But he said, no, we can't do it.
I don't understand that, but shit. He said bullshit. Now they want him to raise. Oh, Mr. Foshi, you must didn't see. If you go back, there is a video. If you go back on YouTube, there is a video talking about raising the rates on the utility, that it is coming down the pipe because they have no other choice but to do it. Because from what they're saying, Thomas DeVee did the meeting. He said that there's not enough money coming in from the revenue from the utilities because they won't raise the rates. And they don't have any incentives to get any grant money or any, I think it's called watershed money, is because we won't raise the rates. So that's coming in the pipe. That's down the pipe. That's already been a conversation.
That's why he's telling you so. That's why he's trying to slip it in now. It's so low. It's
because
so low.
It's coming up.
It's so low. It's so low. We're gonna have to give back to it, and it's so low, and so we have to cheat in the state. So that little, you know, if you put a frog in boiling water, he'll never know it if you gradually increase the temperature. So that's what he's been doing.
Exactly. So it's coming up. The raising the rates is coming up because from them, according to what Mr. Thomas David said, he said that the rates have to go up in order for us to be able to be attractive to different grants and different money opportunities. So it is coming back. It's coming up because we have not raised our rates in years, according to what DeVee said. And it's actually hurting the utilities. So I'm asking the question again. So
why is this? I'm sorry. Why is this guy sitting in the middle of my screen dressed like a goddamn farmer?
I don't know.
What the fuck? Is this the mayor of the city up here dressed like Elmer Fudd?
All he needs is that hat and that gun.
This motherfucker is in my screen talking about some goddamn finance budget dressed like 2K Sam, boy. I'm sorry.
So that was a conversation. So the question I have again, the ox is in the ditch. Okay, there you go with that damn. My wife just said that. Laugh out loud.
I told you, I'll be saying what people be thinking. We on the same wavelength. I love you.
So again, so you're saying that the revenue you make off of utilities. She said, what? Oh, no, you didn't.
She said she was going to try to be good.
Miss Cynthia, you are so wrong.
She tried.
I'm going to have to put you on mute.
No. She said she was going to try to be good. So at least she acknowledged she was going to try.
She said that is rehab attire. You are.
Yeah, that's it. Because that's that. Throw this on real quick and let me get to the meeting attire. That's that. I came up here this morning with this on.
You are so wrong. You need to go sit in the corner for 5 minutes, Miss Washington. As of right now,
I lost my orange coloring pencil today.
You hear me? Miss Cynthia, you need to go sit in the corner right now.
He said he lost his orange crayon today.
I can't hear you.
He lost his orange crayon today during therapy. He was trying to draw a picture of Reddix. I got a headache just now. Oh, that's what it is.
She said, okay, you need to go sit in the corner because you ain't being right.
No, you ain't got to sit in no corner. Ain't no corners in here. We in the circle.
I started one off. Oh, no, stop. Oh, my God. Y'all are cruel. Mr. Fauché, I'm going to ask you to sit in the opposite corner.
There's no corners. We're in the circle. What are you going to do? Sit on the other side of the circle?
I see what's going on here.
I
will not tolerate that in class tonight.
That is silly. This ain't no damn class. Where's the teacher? We got this guy out here looking like goddamn Elmer Fudd, this bitch. He goddamn city councilman. You want to talk about the goddamn finance budget. He up here looking like he finna go fucking fight his hound dog. Like he lost his shit, like he in a hurry. Y'all gotta go. I'm like,
Okay, I'm sitting. Don't look at Miss Cynthia, because y'all not supposed to look at you. You look at each
I gotta go
other,
talk
because
about
y'all gonna
this
say
goddamn
something
budget.
crazy.
I can't find my dog, but I gotta go talk about this budget real quick. Shit. Hey, listen, guys, I want to make this real quick. I gotta find my dog. So any questions you got, you can defer them over there to Trey Guest. He knows everything. He knows everything.
It doesn't sell clothes. It doesn't do any of that.
But it would be helpful if more,
Oh, yeah.
more sales tax, more conveyances and transactions were occurring, which in turn would.
But yeah, for everybody in the country.
You see how he tried
So
to-
anyway, the zoo fund, so that was the revenue side. Those are revenue adjustments. So the zoo side and sanitation is, again, sanitation like a utility.
You don't make no money.
Well, when I was mayor before, it was always zero. I mean, I'll show you all the years. I'm going to give y'all a report on how it can be run to do things right, but it's so it's going to be $3 million that we're adding back. That's nowhere to be.
So in essence,
Right now, you get 2-day-a-week pickup, which will never change because our community loves that. And I think, what's the all-in rate? Do you know it offhand?
It's fuel cost also plus a rate, average right below $40 a month.
Yeah, I think it's less than.
It's a flat rate based on, for residential.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how much you throw away.
Yeah, and the fuel cost is determined
Hold
by
on.
how much.
Hey, Paul.
We do things very cheap.
So if you didn't know, added into your utility bill, I believe, is what they're saying with the trash pickup, is their fuel charge for the goddamn for the trash trucks. And I understand having to pay for a service, but you're kind of forcing me to do this because you're automatically adding it into my bill.
And
And
also
so-
think about this, you guys. Think about this. He said rewind. Okay, give me a second.
Share this out to your friends. Hit the like button. We are in the building dissecting yesterday's city council.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's not driven by us.
But-
That's driven by the people who want to come here and spend their money.
Yeah, it's nice to say that, but brings up a good point because we hear it a lot. The city government doesn't create
Right.
sales tax.
I know, I'm just saying.
Government doesn't sell a hamburger. It doesn't sell clothes. It doesn't do any of that.
But it would be helpful if more,
Oh, yeah.
more sales tax, more conveyances and transactions were occurring, which in turn would.
But yeah, for everybody in the country. So anyway,
That's
the
why
zoo
they
fund, so that was the revenue side. Those are revenue adjustments. So the zoo side and sanitation is, again, sanitation like a utility.
You don't make no money.
Well, when I was mayor before, it was always zero. I mean, I'll show you all the years. I'm going to give y'all a report on how it can be run to do things right, but it's so it's going to be $3 million that we're adding back. That's nowhere to be.
So in essence,
Right now, you get 2-day-a-week pickup, which will never change because our community loves that. And I think, what's the all-in rate? Do you know it offhand?
It's fuel cost also plus a rate, average right below $40 a month.
Yeah, I think it's less than.
And it's a flat rate based on,
Oh, I'm sorry.
for
You come
residential.
out the corner
Yeah.
now. You
Doesn't
have
matter how
5
much you
minutes.
throw
You
away.
suppose you can come out the
Fuel
corners
cost is
now.
determined by how much we pay.
If you be bad
We
again, I'm
just,
bring you
we do
back.
things
Just letting you know.
very cheap. We have very low every kind of rate there is to help our public. That's the bottom line. But when you have 80s type stuff and we're in 2026 now, those are choices and they're choices you can make. No one's telling you to make a different choice. Just saying that has to be made up.
I got a question. This is my question. So my question is, what if we had another whole private waste management company come in? Right?
Well, then that's something that Malcolm said, right? If you keep playing it, Malcolm said something to that effect. And I want you to see how everybody kind of loses their shit.
So so listen to this. So if you had another company come in as a waste management and people go with that company, that has nothing to do with the city. I mean, it doesn't have anything to do with the city if people have their own garbage pickup, right? They have their own private garbage pickup. That would take money out of the revenue of the utilities.
Well, here's the thing, right? He named two categories that don't generate revenue. That's the zoo and that's sanitation. The sanitation is understandable, right? That's a necessity. The zoo, on the other hand, is not a necessity. And now we're operating at a deficit because of the zoo.
But they've been running off. It's been like that. That ain't nothing.
But he just said, I have plans already drawn out to show you how we can make better. If you had plans drawn out already, why didn't you use them already?
Yup. That
you did everything else.
It's 20 years. It'll be 20 years at the end of this. What's the name?
Yeah, you did it everywhere else. You did it anytime else. And you did it for whatever reason you wanted to. But now all of a sudden you have a way to, come on, bro. You got to stop. First off, you got to take off that goddamn vest. Looking like
Tavares, you're gonna get in the corner too. I'm gonna mute you if you keep
that
it up.
nigga look like Farms and Homes magazine. That shit's that nigga got an LL Bean vest on.
Okay, so let me say this. Let me get this disclaimer out in the rules of the room. If everybody in chat can't say stuff like that, you can't either. If you say something like that, you going in the corner for 5 minutes too.
Either one of us. I just want to put that out there.
They want to go up on utilities and taxes all at once. Wow. Then threaten to shut services down. I believe it. If they can't get with that's why I said it should be another waste management company coming in and taking that contract from the city and see how they feel. Because if you got another waste management company in that's taking that and the people can pay that waste management company, that's money out the revenue. Since you hollering about everything is so cheap and everything, we'll see how cheap it is if that company come in and take over the trash. You understand what I'm saying? We'll see how cheap everything is.
If you charge a fuel cost plus $40, then how are you not generating revenue?
I know. That don't even sound right.
They just broke down the cost there to pass on the fuel cost.
Yeah, he loses leverage. That's right. He does. He's gonna lose his leverage. You're right. That's
so
right.
you just said that everybody pays $40 extra. So what happens to the $40?
And then he also said too, y'all, did you hear what he said? You can't take money. You can't keep taking money from the utility revenue and put it in the general fund. So what is the money for? Well, because you have to have money to run the utilities, the maintenance.
No, that doesn't make any difference. If we own it,
you did that.
We own it, so we should be able to move money back and forth.
Yeah.
We do it the other time.
Yeah, you do it everything else, and you don't do it from the utilities. You move it from other stuff, important stuff.
And you slide everything towards the utilities all the time.
Yeah, stop it.
We spend more money on maintaining all this shit that don't work than we do on actual. Yeah, man.
Links on the Bayou and Johnny Downs that don't bring in revenue.
Let's see what they say.
Let's go.
Somewhere to provide that service. Because you don't want to pay $3 million to stand up sanitation. That we never had to do that before.
So what you're saying is our sanitation department costs $3 million more than what we're collecting.
I mean, I wouldn't say it that way. I'd say for the employees and everything in it, we're adding another 700,000 to true it up for the year. So, you know, there are things you can look at. You can look at overtime and all those kind of things, but while there are some overtime issues, I will point out when we get to big budget, or we'll be doing during big budget, I would say that sanitation is not, those guys are working hard. They're doing everything they can do. It's just, that's the cost of where that is today. That's what it costs. That's what it costs to pick that up, get it, pay the fees to transport it out and do it.
Budget that we bought some new trucks and whatever, does that come from that, does that factor into that 3 million?
Yeah, that's all
Okay.
rolling stock. and
Yeah, so we
operating
had to
capital.
do some big ticket things.
When things are run right, a rate and your cost should
Should.
cover your future infrastructure. So that's what it is. There's the operating budget, and then there's what we call our enterprise funds. Those are things we're choosing to do, like a private company would do, a waste management would do if they had your sanitation. CLECO would do if they had your utilities. And where we do those enterprise funds, rate, you know, the fuel cost is really a pass-through for us, so I won't counter this, but your rate should cover the three things we always talk about. They should cover the cost of the employees. They should cover the operating stock, if you will, rolling stock, anything with wheels, et cetera. And thirdly, and very importantly, really four things. Thirdly, they have to cover future infrastructure, big capital needs. The fourth one I would loosely call, you got to have something there for a rainy day too. You don't have to make a profit in the traditional sense that a private company does, but you have to be adding to a retained earning some percent so that if there is a catastrophic event, not covered by FEMA, not covered by something, and you have an enterprise fund, it can stand itself back up. Some people say that's 10%. Some people say it's 15% of an operating year. It just depends. There's a best practice for different types of things, but certainly, you know, people would say half an operating year is a good thing to have in most public organizations. I'm not saying it has to be in everyone. I'm saying that's a generally good indicator.
Tell me something, if there were to be a rate increase for sanitation, I'm not saying I'm for that one way or the other, would that result in a net increase for wages for the workers?
Well, I think you'd look at what people are, we need to pay sanitation workers more. That's an easy one. We need to pay linemen and people in electric more. I mean, we're not at market in these. So again, sanitation and all those things are enterprisey. There are things you're doing in enterprise. Not every city does those things. If you are doing those things, you ought to be competitive with the private sector. When all of you were growing up, Madam President, Gary, everybody up there, there was when Jules was at the city, there was a different bet. The bet was you might not make quite what you'd make at the city in the same job in the private sector. But because of defined benefits and all of the other things, retirement and other things the city paid in the long haul, it was better. So comparable wages, way better retirement. It's a different day and age. We're so far out on some wages in some areas that you can't attract. And I'll just take one more step. This can be in a deeper meeting we all discuss, but I want y'all to also remember employees are different. Y'all could tell a family member, like, go get this job at the city, make this bet on yourself. It's going to pay off in the future. When you tell the young folks of today, the folks we all know, that you need to have insurance coverage and a health contribution, all that, we don't, that translation is different now. Some really get it. Some are like, oh, I just want to make more money now. I'm not worried about those things. And it used to be that families sort of pushed each other and, you know, their descendants into that. And we don't see that same draw in municipal or even public life. I read a lot of magazines on this. Is happening everywhere. It's harder to get people into public life.
So, I'm sorry.
I just want to bring this back to this meeting. So all
Yes,
we're
sir.
doing on this meeting right here is looking at
Truing it up.
adjustments. we're going by what the adjustment is, probably mid-year, right? And question on that, because this is a good conversation, but we'll be here for 3 or 4 days asking a lot of these questions. So let's get to the.
I'm answering the best I can.
Yes, we understand that. Madam.
I always hear that we're so far behind, and what does the city has to do to actually catch up to be where we need to be?
When you say far behind, in what way?
Like with the sanitation, the sanitation always a standstill. So what are some of the things?
You mean not providing the service to the customer?
No, they're definitely providing the service.
Talking about salaries?
Probably.
Well, I mean, no, I mean, that's what I was just answering. I mean, what we have to do is,
What is waste management?
you just have to make the choice of, I have an obligation to treat the different classes of employees as equally and protected as equally as possible. It doesn't mean everyone is paid the same. Obviously, different jobs and different skill sets require different pay. But it's right now what we go through, Lisa and I, is where are we losing people, or we are so low and out of the market, we've got to make the triage decision. One of them is sanitation. To keep people in it. It's already a tough job. It's not the most attractive job in the world to a lot of people. There are parts of it that can be. It's very hard work. The other one is in the electric utility, linemen and all those kind of things. They can make, I don't know if Marcus is in here,
Twice as much.
twice as much starting somewhere else in a comparable job. So
We're the training ground for a lot of stuff.
yeah, we do that. We will have people come in for a year or so, and then they get picked up with a lot better gig somewhere else. There are ways to fix this stuff without the scary. All you guys are ever going to hear is the negative. If you talk about rates, all you're going to be is attacked. But people want the same level of service too. So they want 2-day-a-week pickup. I can promise you that. And remember, we go out and pick up green waste, white good, refrigerators, all that. If you're not commercial, in other words, unloading your rent house on the street, which people do, we end up having to pick it up and deal with it. But if you're unloading your own home or whatever, we pick all that up. Other people charge by the loads in a very different way than we do. So all of that affects all of the reasoning that you have to add money back. So we're talking about losing money, and you're asking how are we going to do, like, you guys got to, we have a lot to talk about to figure out what to do, but we're talking about losing money we shouldn't be losing because we're so far out of the market. We're also out of the market on paying people because we're so far out of the market. It's a vicious circle. And we've got to reinvest in some of these things. When it gets to the point where you're not getting the.
And that's why you don't own your own utilities, because it comes with all this. It's not even about that. Why don't you let somebody else run your utilities? Why don't you give utilities to somebody else? No, you didn't want that. Now you're sitting up here complaining about everything when the opportunity for CLECO to take over utilities, you got mad, people got upset and mad. But now you complain about not being able to keep people as workers, utility linemen and all that, because you're not paying them enough. See, that's what happens when you make these type of decisions, Jock, okay? When you make these type of decisions and wanted your own utilities. You wanted to buy big old propeller from ships. That's what happens. You have an $800,000 a month payment that you have to do every month. Of course it's a problem. Of course it would be a problem. You're definitely right, it's going to be a problem. And you're going to run into these type of things. It's not about everything being cheap. Why don't you stop paying for the zoo? Why don't you stop paying for Links on the Bayou? Why don't you stop paying for Johnny Downs? Why don't you stop doing that? Okay? Why don't you stop letting some of these companies, we know these businesses, get all these big incentives for 4 and 5 and 6 years at a time before they can pay a whole full utility bill? Why don't you stop doing that? Maybe that would help, right? That could be the places that you can work on fixing. Yeah, eliminate those bills.
Yeah, if you want to
That's
true up
the
something,
burden of the
true up
people.
that. True up that. You want to true up something.
Yeah, that's right.
True up that.
Yeah. Look, if you guys get a chance, go on Links on the Bayou. Tavares did it several years ago, and look at some of the salaries of those people that's sitting out there that's not doing anything.
One
Just
of the
go
guys
look at
live in
their
Baton
salary.
Rouge. He doesn't even live in Alexandria.
Huh?
One of the guys live in Baton Rouge. He don't even live in
Yeah,
Alexandria.
he don't even live in Alexandria, and they paying him a salary. Yeah. They're not getting paid no cheap
Talking
money.
about this is good
Serious
old
money.
fashioned,
So
good old boy.
when we talk about things we can do, let's talk about eliminating paying for all three of those things.
Yeah,
That's
let's
not
do that
bringing
now.
in no revenue to the city.
Yeah,
Not
true
bringing
that
in
now.
no sales tax to the city. Okay? Let's talk about that. Because you can make those long, drawn out excuses all day long. We're not stupid. People who are listening, hear what's going on. They're not stupid. We've done this with you before. You've been in that office altogether 20 years. You're going on your 5th term as the mayor. And now you got issues? No, because you know what? You spent a lot of time doing other things. You and Marcotte and Crutchfield sat up there and bought those doggone big propellers. You went and bought Bayou Coal, and now you're up. Really? You guys did that. Nobody else did that. Y'all did that and spent all that money.
But didn't tell nobody.
And then tell nobody, and then turn around. Now you can pay an $800,000 a month. $800,000 a month on a bond.
And trying to get another one.
Yeah. And then you don't bring in no revenue on these fets and these winter fets. That's why I will never patronize one of them things. I don't care what nobody say. You can go take your family, whatever. I will never go to one. You don't have no gate charges on anything. No kind of gate charges. You don't really make the vendors pay anything. And then the utility bill that comes in for those doggone vets goes right back to the ratepayers to pay. And then you sitting up here complaining about how much it costs to run a utility company. Give it to CLECO. Let CLECO run it. I'm quite sure they do a better job. Oops, all right, I forgot. You do lease from CLECO, don't you? Okay.
That's what just stuck.
Yeah. Alexander does a lot of wasteful spending and why people are fucked. Yes, you're right. They sure do. Are hard on money from these low paying ass jobs. Exactly. They low paying. Wait until Jules Green stuns him. Okay, got you. Okay. Let me.
New infrastructure you need, then you're going to really have a problem. And I think that day is here. I think that y'all have a renewal coming up on a capital tax. I don't think it's going to be up. I don't think it'll pass. I don't think there's any momentum behind it. And I think it's going to shock people when half your capital dollars, your general capital dollars, are gone. And I suspect that's what's going to happen.
Well, let's talk about the ways we get money.
Well,
We get it from federal government, we get it from state, and we get it from.
capital
grants.
money?
I mean, the budget period.
Again, the budget is driven by essentially two things, not only, but mainly sales tax, then property tax. Fees and all the other things are very, very low part here. We're not driven that way. If you're in a small town of Woodworth, then you're more fee driven. You don't have any sales tax base, so you have to, maybe it's tickets, maybe it's whatever. It's a fee driven deal. Here, it's sales tax. So sales tax is going to be, as you pointed out, Mr. Johnson, that's not government proper. That's making an environment that people want to have businesses. We're not regulating them. We're not hurting or stopping that. Property tax is what that capital millage is. It's not a sales tax. It's a property tax, an ad valorem. And so that's paid by people who are the property owners. And, when I go out and talk to those persons who are large, we'll call them large property taxpayers, they don't mind paying the property tax. They're for it. We're ironically having the property tax ad valorem fought by people who benefit from it. And it's just misinformation. It's just that simple. It's not complicated. We talk about it every week at staff.
Mayor, as you said, speaking with the residents, I took some notes myself over the weekend, just saying if sales tax revenues are truly growing over the year, the city would be less dependent on spending leftover money from prior years, moving millions of dollars out of utility funds, and are cutting or reducing staff in several departments. So with the one-time money, you're saying that
What you stated is not what's happening. We're decreasing the utility, not adding from
But
the utility.
I'm saying the sales tax are growing year to year, so I'm having people prior to even getting to a budget, utility increase, aren't happy. They see what's going on. This book is online. People do read it. I wasn't here when I voted to put it on the line, so you need to explain it. It has to be explained to the citizens what they're doing. A lot of people read and understand what's going on. I get a lot of calls, and I did a lot of research across the state this weekend on what we're talking about right now. And I was just asking, with the sales taxes increasing, why would we need to?
We're not increasing sales tax. We're projecting that people who pay sales tax,
They're growing.
that what we projected it to be, it will actually come in more, which we're required to do by what's called conservative budget predictions. Conservative budget predictions mean you always under-predict revenue and assume expenses are either static or grow, because they do. Expenses don't go back. The cost of goods and things doesn't go back to 1980s. It goes forward. So expenses have to be budgeted in the conservative way that they're going to be more or static. Your solution, if you think that you can't deal with expenses, is what? There's one thing you can do. Cut them. We haven't been cutting them except cutting where there's fat. You can do that. So what Mr. Green mentioned is all of those in one thing, as if there's no relation. So yes, you can have to cut jobs if you don't have it, but we're not trying to cut jobs. We have tons of jobs that aren't filled. From what I said earlier, people are not entering the public service. We have to keep having more fairs and do things. We have available jobs all over the city. So it's not that, I'm not sure what that was, but again, revenue is being decreased in its transfer from utility to the general.
I think that was Linda Bell that snickered, and then he got so offended. I bet you that was Linda Bell. Linda Bell, put a one in the chat if it was you. Put a one in the chat if you thought it was Miss Linda Bell in there snickering when he said what he just said. He's like, I'm not really sure what that was. Yeah, we can't hear you.
Yeah, that's that. But see, he's been doing that, David. He does that all the time. We catch it. We know what he's trying to do. Yeah, you're right. He's done this before. So somewhere they're struggling, just like I said. If you go back and watch the video where David DeVete, whatever his name is, Thomas DeVete was talking, and he did that whole spiel. They did a whole meeting talking about the utilities and the possibility of having to increase the rates. They were giving us the reason why they have to do it. Again, if you did not jump up and go buy those big old propellers and buy you coal, this wouldn't even be a conversation.
We wouldn't even be in the hole.
That's right. So you blame the people because the rates are higher. I mean, the rates are low. Now,
Yeah, but the pass through is high.
the pass through is what?
It's high. That's the part he's not talking about. That
Yeah.
pass through.
Exactly.
That's why people fuel charges on their bill be more than their utility bill.
That's right. That's right. Because you're paying for stuff. You're paying for things that they don't see. That's not, if you wouldn't have never jumped up, I saw it. Yes, ma'am. It's now making full circle. Goins got some ears on him. He looked better fat. Look, okay, look, folks. See, you trying to get back in the corner. See what you're doing? I'm going to put you back in the corner, sir. All right? We're not doing that. Okay?
I'll do shit.
But yeah, this is interesting. This is so interesting. Because y'all know that renewal tax is coming up. You heard him mention it, right?
Yeah, he said it's not going to pass.
Yeah, yeah. And if I know it's not going to pass, that misinformation about what it does. And he said he talked to the high property owners, the ones who live in.
Yeah, I heard that too. I guess everybody else don't count.
Yeah, exactly. All other property owners don't matter. It's just the ones who pay that high. They don't mind doing it. Okay. Again, we understand it's a renewal, but we know that you don't put nothing inside where it belongs when you do those renewals. We already saw that. We saw that before it happened. Okay. So that's why people are very skeptical about actually doing that. He talked to his backers who can afford it. You're right. He sure did. That's who he did that to. Yeah, that's who he did it to. Sell the utilities, and then you won't be crying about hiring nobody or not. The reason why people probably are not jumping up to do those jobs because they don't want to work under you. You ever thought about that, Mayor? Maybe if you get out of office, people will be clamoring to get to those jobs. Maybe you're the problem. Maybe your administration is the problem why people don't want to work under you. Maybe it's not just because you know why? Because there's people who are working restaurants for lesser money that they're getting paid with the city. We already know they'll do that. Right? So maybe it's not just a job. You know? Yeah.
Maybe
yeah,
it's the
exactly.
culture.
Yeah. They'd rather work for somebody else. Yeah. I can see that. People rather bust tables than to work for you. Maybe it's you and not the job. Maybe not the pay. Because people will work for whatever they need to work for. And the idea that you're saying that people don't want to take that chance, those jobs don't pay a livable wage. Yeah, but listen, Nat, if people want to people will work a job that's not paying a living wage for peace. Now, keep in mind, this new generation, this is a whole different generation. They're not busting their behinds on jobs that they're not being treated correctly on. I'm going to tell you that right now. This interview I watched with this young man and a corporation guy. And he basically said, this generation of people ain't working at no job that they not finding peace at. They're not working it. They said they'd rather do something else. They're finding jobs where they feel comfortable and they enjoy doing it. A lot of these jobs are jobs you do just to keep the roof over your head. People don't have that mindset no more. They want to work a job they enjoy doing. And if it's working at McDonald's, if it's working at busting tables at a restaurant, they'd rather do that. I did learn that about this generation.
Leaving the utility revenue where it belongs in its utility. Normally, the city takes from the utility. We're saying leave it. Mr. Green, you just have to be more specific. I don't know who you're talking to. I talk to the professionals who do the budget, and we talk to our auditors. They're your auditor. They're independent. And
Well, you were speaking of reducing, saving. Now, I went to call Shreveport and they were glad to send me this information. And just saying, you're saying cutting. Let me just go to the legal.
I didn't say cutting, you did, sir.
I did, okay. We're reducing,
I rejected the term cut.
reduce recutting. One thing that really caught my eye going through this weekend, the legal department. Let me just say this, and y'all could take it any way you want to. Shreveport has 175 to 180,000 people. Their legal fee budget is $1.39 million. We have 43 to 45,000 people in Alexandria. Our budget for legal is $3,015,000. That's $1,624,000 more than Shreveport. A lot of people, they've read this, they've looked, and we're talking about saving money. They have 15 people in their department, one full-time city attorney. They have 9 assistants, 1 manager, 1 reception, 1 legal. We have 8, and we still have a higher utility fund than theirs. Legal funds there. So when you want to look at saving, we might need to start bringing some of this stuff in-house. I'm just saying, from reading and reaching out to other entities, what we got going on, sir. That's just that department, legal. There's other ones that we can look at, we can do things better.
So I don't know,
Excuse me?
why that's up right now, but let me just say this. I will get the comps, and they will not be what was just stated. Shreveport is a much bigger city,
With the list.
but it's shrinking. I mean, it's lost by, its budget will probably be reflecting its in-house budget, not its outside budget for contract lawyers and all that it has to pay. So that's going to be very different, and you're comparing apples and oranges.
Y'all, look, let me tell you something. Believe me, when Mr. Green got that information, let me tell you how I know Mr. Green is correct with that information. Because that's the same information or close to it that Mr. Fuller got. Because we sat down in a meeting and talked about the budget when it came to legal. That is about the same amount. It might be a little bit more when Mr. Fuller did that Shreveport has. That's including everything. Has nothing to do with outside lawyers or nothing like that. Do you see how he's sitting up there trying to tell a lie? He knows they're overspending in legal. He knows they are. He knows it.
He about to tell you why.
Yeah.
And I'll be glad to make that comparison, but I'm just going to go out on a limb and guess that if you think that Shreveport pays less claims or has less legal bills than the city of Alexandria, that, no, not going to be the case. Mr. Gissman, the city attorney, do you think that Shreveport's going to have less legal bills than we do?
You said Mr. Gibbs, but that's Mr. Goins. That's Mr. Gibbs.
No, I asked Mr. Gisson and I asked Mr. Goins.
Okay.
This is going to be easy to do. It's going to just be looking at that budget.
Hold up.
One,
Jules said, my bad. So he's going to ask the 2 people that are benefiting the most from what Mr. Jules is pointing out, whether or not the other city that he's comparing, bro, you can't make this up.
You know what, Tavares? Now, him having a city attorney, that's fine. That's not the issue. That little sucker right here, that little mouse right there, that $250 an hour that they paying for, that's what he needs to get rid of. This little sucker right here, that Nepo baby right here, that's the one they need to get rid of. That sucker sitting right here. That $250 an hour that y'all pay for, that's who needs to go. That's the one who needs to go. Okay? It's over 12 million over a 4-year period. You're right, Mr. Foshi. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. They spending some money on legal. Now, I promise you, Mr. Green didn't just get the legal, the money that they spent on legal just for locally. I can't believe that he did that. Okay?
Nobody did that. That was his way out.
Yeah.
And that's that quick thinking politician shit. Because he got hit with a softball. Well, he got hit with a whammy because he didn't even know Jules was going to bring that up. But they were talking about savings. And
Point whatever it's for. So our in-house budget is much smaller than that number. But we have contract lawyers who perform a lot of services. Shreveport being a bigger city, New Orleans, bigger cities, they tend to have their city attorney's office have more in-house. Daniel worked there. He knows that. Way different model. Different draw, different ability to have attorneys come in, pay them a different salary and make a career of it. You don't have that here. So we tend to contract out our work. Can that inflate it somewhat? Can law firm rates be less of a good deal than if you could have a full in-house staff? Sure, but that's where we are.
So
That's a market problem, not a.
But you need expertise.
Right,
You
and
can't have
New
good
Orleans can hire an expert in each area and put them in those offices. We just don't have the same pool to play with.
And they're much more expensive.
Okay.
too.
So let's bring it back to where we're here for. So we got, this is for 25, 26 adjustments. Let's go through the numbers and see what the big adjustments are and why the adjustments there.
Okay.
That's what this meeting is for. We had 30 minutes, of course, it's gonna take more than 30 minutes. So,
So can we give you some good news too?
well, good news is.
I thought this was all good. We're decreasing the dependence on utility. We're doing those things. The zoo also increased by $500,000. It's going to go to 2 million. That was at 1.5 and they get half the millage. And look at that growth, but we don't want to do anything in the zoo. We want to keep seeing things happen there, but look at the growth of costs to do that. And it isn't like they're running inexpensive, guys. I mean, y'all know that they know how to make a dollar stretch over there, but you know the events like we held the other day that are so nice. Increase in machinery and equipment in streets, 659.
It. Get rid of that zoo. Get rid of that zoo. I will continue to say it. Get rid of that zoo. It's like keeping around a bad car that doesn't work, that doesn't bring in revenue, and I have to continue to put money into it. I can't drive it anywhere, but I keep, like a dumbass, excuse my language, I keep putting money in it to make sure I'm hoping that I'm able to actually drive it. But the zoo, yeah, it brings, you said, but the zoo brings in zoo and no money. Yep, that's right. If we can get rid of the mall, we can get rid of that zoo. That's right. Get rid of the zoo. If somebody wants to buy links on the bayou and maintain it, let them take it off our hands. Let them take it off the people's hands. Because it's not doing anything. Links on the bayou don't bring in no money to the doggone city. Y'all know that yourself. No, I wouldn't keep that raggedy zoo. Not me. Alexandria don't need a zoo that's not bringing in money. I wouldn't put nothing in that zoo. I wouldn't put a dime in that zoo. That's just a waste of time. They are not Baton Rouge. This is not New Orleans. They don't have the capability. I would get rid of that zoo in a heartbeat. If I had the power to close that sucker down, I'd ship them animals off and send them people to the house. I think it's a waste of time and waste of money. I'm sorry. It is not an attraction for Alexandria. That's just my opinion. I wouldn't keep it. I wouldn't keep it at all. That's just like that children's museum they're about to bring in. A children's museum. Yeah. We're going to see how much that's going to bring in revenue. The reason why I wouldn't keep that zoo, Miss Battles, is because you have to look at how much it costs you guys to maintain that zoo. When they can't make their revenue, guess who pays for that? Y'all do.
That's what we're talking
They
about.
don't work for you. Y'all pay for that zoo. When that zoo cannot make its revenue, y'all pay for it.
Y'all been paying for it.
And still paying for it. He tried to make it sound like they doing so much for the zoo. The zoo is starting to bring in their own revenue. No. Yeah, that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing with that Masonic corridor. They're bringing in the Children's Museum. We went over that on the show. Lafayette has a Children's Museum. That's all you got is an attraction to come here? A Children's Museum? Close the zoo. The animals are exhausted. Miss Washington, you're wrong. She said, close the zoo. The animals are exhausted. Some have been trying to escape since the 80s. Probably why they one monkey used to throw his poop at people.
They deserved it.
You know what? I can't put you in the corner for that because that's correct. Yeah. Them animals are tired. They exhausted. They grown. Look, they don't have 5 or 6 generations of them sitting in there.
Sell the zoo.
Huh?
Put the zoo up for sale.
I can't hear you.
Put the zoo up for sale.
That's right. That's a revenue. Look, that's a revenue. Put that sucker up for sale. Let somebody else take it over. And not put no more y'all money in it because that's y'all money. That's the city money. That zoo ain't no attraction. Expanded. Expanded where? The animals go hide when we go there. You said the animals run off? Yeah, because they tired of being poked and looked at. The animals need to be retired. Send them to a, what they call them, huh?
You said they tired of being looked at?
Yeah. He says Rocky Boy can buy it. They're like women, the freaks. They only come out at night. And some are robot animals. Oh my God. Oh my God. And that's what, okay. So again, that's what y'all paying for. That's what y'all paying for. Oh, they had a big event. Like right across the street from the zoo, that $250,000 parking lot that stays empty all the time, that was bought so that they wouldn't put a Dollar General there.
But an adult store, the adult store that's across the street from the zoo.
Adjacent to it is a doggone adult store and a daiquiri shop. Yeah, of course. Yeah. No,
fucking
please.
freaks. Hey, fucking freaks.
Please.
There's kids
That's
around
what
there. Yeah.
That's what y'all paying for. That's exactly what you're paying for. So make it make sense. Get rid of that zoo. And then the Children's Museum coming. We have one in New Orleans. We have one in Lafayette. If I'm not mistaken, we got one probably in Baton Rouge. We got Children's Museum all over the state. You don't need no damn Children's Museum here. When I can travel and go to New Orleans and go down French Quarters, hang out, and then take my kids to the zoo, you can take them to to New Orleans Zoo. You can take them where there's a lot of stuff going on. Yup, the adult aquarium. Yeah, where things are actually going on. You know what I'm saying? Get out of here. Make it make sense. Just make it make sense.
To alleviate the 625 increases in repairs and maintenance, increase in demolition, Mr. Larverdane, by
Yep.
390,000
I saw
to a
that.
total 740. That's for you.
I saw that.
General capital projects increase, that increase in sales tax, we're going to predict another 0.6 million. Increasing the Brownsfield to 1.2. The expense, because that's a grant, is shown underneath it, the same 1.2 as a grant. Property tax fund,
Question on grants.
yes.
So how do grants? Okay, we got sales tax, we got property tax, and so grants also is a part of our budget.
Yes.
So how do we do grants if we don't know grants from, okay, when the budget first, when we first start the budget, we have no idea what kind of grants we get.
Right.
So we just make a,
So they get trued up. That's exactly what's happening.
That's what this is.
So they get trued up when it happens. That's why it's making MBA.
Because usually the grants come in, the federal grants, you
Uh.
learn about that in October. And that, there's some of that reflected in the major budget.
So you see it on both sides of the ledger to
Okay.
reflect that it's a grant.
okay.
That's why you see it as a plus and then the minus, right? All right, property tax, the Handiworks building is a reignite project. That's the building at the top of the key on Masonic, right across from the fire station. That's $500,000. We'll talk about some other bids tonight, and then also we are starting on our sport courts right there on the other side. The next page is the utility fund. You'll see what Paul talked about earlier, the decrease in fuel costs by $7 million, which is ultimately a reduction to the cost for customers. Increase of prior fund balance from utilities by 1.8, again, reflecting that additional cost, but also not giving it that high amount to the operating side. Again, reflecting growth in costs in the utility without matching revenue, growth in expenses, non-matching revenue. And then underneath of that, you can keep looking and you'll see the expense, the decrease in transfer to general fund, again, is stated on the utility side at 3.233. That matches the general fund decrease in the transfer. Rates are not part of that. That's why we're having to do that. It's the rates don't support continuing that transfer at that level. The increase in tree trimming is by 500,000, Malcolm, so that goes to 900. Increasing maintenance in lines and poles, another $500,000 to 1.4 in electric distribution. Increasing maintenance substations, 300,000. That takes that to 410 in electric distribution. Increasing maintenance in mains by 750. That's in water distribution. These are all absolutely necessary things in your different utilities. Increasing maintenance of lift stations by 320,000. That's wastewater collection. So you saw several electric, one water, and one wastewater. The sanitation fund on its side, so we talked about it on the operating side. Now go into the fund and you'll see its side. Increasing transfer from the general fund, so you're showing it as revenue. It's coming out of our general fund, the 704 we talked about at the top of this, and going into theirs as revenue. But it's not, it's being supported by the operating fund. So that will bring them up to that 2.918 million. Increasing vehicles, 76,000. So that brings vehicles to 1,377 to alleviate the $500,000 increases in repairs and expenses. So when we see repairs and maintenance have a problem, that can indicate fleet life, all those kind of things. You want to make sure.
Mayor.
Yeah.
Okay, if could we add more automation to our sanitation department?
I'm not gonna say no. Can you be a little more
I
specific?
guess.
You mean where it picks them up and all?
Yeah. With that,
So I think the city looked at it a long time ago. You have to have, so everybody's got to have the uniform trash can, which some cities adopt, and people comply and play right along.
I'm just wondering, could that save us some money, some manpower, if we introduce some automation to our sanitation department?
I mean, you would have to get all the vehicles new, and then massive campaign to get the citizens to comply with the cans, that you have to have a special one.
Yeah.
Only one, can't be overfilled, it can only be one. And we got 2-day pickup. Those are not no's, they're just things that Alexandria has not been as quick to adopt as some other places. People,
Could we just look into that to see
sure,
if that could help?
I just hate those jobs.
So I'm confused. You're talking about saving money. He mentions automation, and now he's hollering about he hate losing those jobs. Let's that's right, Nat. Control. You're right. Yes, that's right. He wants to have control. You're completely right. So, so that's kind of weird. Now, you either want to trim some things in some places. Sounded like no to me. He doesn't want to lose the jobs because they are votes. You know what? That's a good idea to think about. You're right. You are so on it. Because sometimes you're already having issues with putting people in those jobs anyway. So eliminate them. Like, I get it. I get it that I know it's like Alexandria's situation is stuck between a rock and a hard place, right? Right? But if this is going, you're hollering about how much money you don't have, what you're doing here, how you're cutting here, how you're putting this here. If the automated system will work better for us when it comes on the long run, then, I mean, hold up. Other cities are doing it and they're not suffering from it. So what is the deal? What is it really behind it? What is, because you know how, you see how he sat back when he said that, right? Yeah. He sat back like, oh, wait a minute. I don't, you're not even, you got jobs that you can't fill right now. So what are you talking about? Losing jobs? You're not even filling the ones you got now. So it got to make sense. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I'm sorry, I got to go back on mute.
Meaningful,
Well, I mean,
But Mr. I'm sorry, Lafayette has that, they're not satisfied with it, but we can look into
I
it.
didn't realize that.
And
I'm
as the
just-
mayor
I'm just
alluded,
thinking.
your citizens would have to go to one can, couldn't be overloaded, and there have been some things I have seen that turned out crazy behind that one can. So it takes more than just saying, going to automation. The citizens have to truly come on board. And then you have to have, at the day of your pickup, you can't have a car parked on the street
Right.
close to that area. And if your car is parked on their street, your can is not picked up. So they're calling the mayor, they're calling the council.
I'm just asking.
Trash
I'm
was
just
picked
thinking.
up. So
I mean, good
Yeah,
question.
I'm
This
just
is a good
thinking,
question.
I'm just thinking.
I've adopted Mr. Green's answer over mine. That was a good, those are all.
You know, I'm
it takes
just thinking of
community
ways.
support. It doesn't mean our community won't do it, but history shows the community's been challenged with that kind of change, wanting to do it everywhere, not one area, the whole city, from recycling to just challenged about, this is the day you have to do this and you can't do it another day. Tell people they can only cut grass and cut big branches and put them out on one day or they miss the 3-week cycle. It's tough. It doesn't mean you can't.
Don't they do that with HOAs? Can somebody tell me? I mean, I don't live in an HOA community because I can leave my grass, I can do whatever I want where I'm living at. But my question is, don't HOAs have certain rules? Yeah, that's right. Yep, you're right. It's votes. Yeah. So don't they got? I mean, I don't see nothing wrong with it. But I know those type of rules he's talking about. Even what Mr. Green's talking about, I don't disagree with him. But HOAs have those same type of rules, or you get fined. So I'm trying to figure out what's the big deal. I think it's a great idea. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I only have friends who live in communities that have HOAs, and I know they have strict rules. You cannot have your car somewhere, certain places. And if you don't abide by those rules, you will get fined, point blank. So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. It could be me.
But Mr. Green is outlining real concerns. Lafayette did it, and the Cajuns weren't so happy.
And most of them are done by private companies that did
Yeah.
that stuff up. And they charge $60, $70 a month pickup.
They do. And so Jules had that underpacked in his answer, but y'all need to hear what he was saying. When it's you who are elected officials, a private company can say, I'm only coming this day and I'm charging you X, you better do it. And your compliance is going to be way up because you pay your money and you're not going to want your trash not picked up. When the city is the compliance generator, and they can call one of you and go, they didn't come today. Well, I looked it up. They did come. You didn't have it out in time, and your neighbor has it on camera. They can prove it. That doesn't matter. They're going to call you 100 times. And so when the city runs the enterprise, it's a little bit different for you guys.
Company. You let a private company come in and do it, and people will have to abide by that private company's. See, stop. And this is something else. Okay, you think about your job, right? If rules change at your job, you have to abide by those rules, or you take your behind to the house. Point blank. Let's stop making this. Stop with the semantics. That's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at it from the standpoint of the semantics of what he's saying. If you live in a community where there's an HOA and they make these same type of rules, you have to abide by them or you get fined. So if you work at a job and your job changes rules on you and you're well aware of those rules and you don't abide by them, they have a right to what? Stop paying you and send you to the house. Point blank. Come on, y'all. It's not that hard. I think it's a great idea. Automate the hell out of it. Just because Lafayette didn't do it, don't mean that it cannot be done in other cities. Cities do it all the time. So let's stop pretending like Alexandria is this aloof type city and it can't do anything different. You hollered about you have prices of the 80s with your utilities, right? Okay, nothing's changed since then or whatever. But yet and still, when somebody come up with an ideal, everybody in the whole world got all these excuses why it can't happen. Stop it. All you can do is try it to see if it works. If it don't work, so what? And if you get called that your trash didn't get picked up, then you already know the rules. You know the rules. That's why your trash didn't get picked up, because you didn't abide by the rules. So let's stop pretending with semantics. Let's stop it. And these weak excuses. Because I guaranteed you, out here, every Wednesday, my trash has to be out every Wednesday so that they can come by and pick it up. If they don't come by, if I don't pay, or if I don't put my trash out, and I put it out late, it ain't gonna get picked up till next Wednesday because it only comes once a week. So do I need to be mad at them about that? Hell no, it's my fault. So let's stop with this semantics. I'm sorry. I apologize, but I had to take that there. I pay $75 every 3 months for garbage pickup at one of my grandmother's. Okay, I bet he charges more in the city. Probably do. I only pay we pay $40 a month. We pay $40 a month. And majority of anything that we put out there, they'll pick it up. But I'm in a rural area. You're right, Miss Battles. The mindset needs to be changed. That's what he's saying, that the citizens are slow, that they don't know to put their if you change the rules on how to pick up that trash, guaranteed you everybody gonna abide by it, because they do not want that trash to be sitting in front of their houses. Yup, that's right. Codifying and babyfying them. You're right, Miss Battle. You're right. They're not that smart to put their trash out. They do it now. So stop doing this. Stop making it sound like these people are slow. They're not slow. Because if they live in neighborhoods where there's an HOA, I guaranteed you these type of rules apply. So don't try to make it sound like they're, just like I believe Fauché was saying, I do believe it's about votes. Yeah, I do believe that. An automated system will work in Alexandria. The only reason why it didn't work in Lafayette because the people refused to work with it. So let's stop making excuses. You're saying that the people of Louisiana are not educated enough to abide by rules when they go to work every day and they got to abide by the rules of their jobs. That's what you're telling me. I'm sorry. I don't get it. I'm sorry. I don't get it. When we come to them city council meetings, we only allowed to do what? Speak for 3 minutes, right? So those are rules, right? That everybody that comes in that city council meeting and have something to go to that podium and say, they only got 3 minutes. And they even got somebody to check your time. So you're telling me that cannot apply to you putting your trash in a proper place so it can be automatically picked up? Get out of here. Get out of here. I'm done. I'm sorry. I'm gonna get off that soapbox.
And for the other,
It was just a suggestion.
there's nothing wrong with
I mean,
it. It's good to compare them every so often and just see. You know, maybe Lafayette had a reason it didn't work, and it won't be the same for us. We'll be glad to look.
Okay.
The last item was just from my list was utility capital projects. Increase the DG Hunter major maintenance by just 350,000, which is small in that world. And that's my rendition of all the major items that are in these sheets. If y'all have individual ones, Paul or I will be glad to answer.
Got a question. So how long did it take you to compile this? I mean, so we just got it.
Like to build this,
Yes.
2 months. So I mean, we go through each line item, we look at big accounts, look at where we were at each month versus the past 3 years.
So it's from May to November, like halfway point?
So
we said?
Yeah, so we wait until around October 31st is the halfway point. And then once all of that data is in, we'll start comparing that data versus the previous 3 years' data and get a percentage and see where we're at to see how we would like to.
If you start too early, you don't have data to make it meaningful. You might not be materially doing the right thing if you start too early.
And we compare it versus previous years, where you're at the halfway point. Is it typically this high? Some things you spend much more money in the end of the year versus the beginning of the year. Like
So
grass mowing, for instance.
So May start the fiscal year for
Yes, May 1.
June. So November would be midpoint.
Right, so you said-
Mid-
So it take,
Yeah,
right,
so-
it's
Sorry, no.
Why is that such a hard question?
Okay, I got something to say, y'all. Y'all notice how Mr. Johnson, he talking more, y'all? Y'all notice that?
That was just campaign season.
He talking more. Ooh, he got a lot to say now. He didn't have a lot to say before. Now he can talk. We was wondering if he could talk.
Wasn't he a accountant in the military?
Huh?
Wasn't he an accountant in the military or something like that?
He was in the intercontinental military.
What was he doing in the military?
He did several things. He said he was a budget analyst.
Oh, okay.
That's what he said. Yeah, that's what he said. Okay.
October 31st
But we don't
is the end of the
get
6
reports
months.
from the parish and the sales tax. There's a delay between when the retail merchants,
2 months.
they have to
Okay.
send them in. So December night, we don't know that till the first.
Okay.
Is that
Revenues.
And Gary, just remember, this is not us making a bunch of policy decisions. This is a true up at major budget amendment. I highlighted what I would consider on the borderline of policy versus just truing up. Like, we made the decision to pull, not having utilities make a transfer. That's a policy decision. And just a true up decision. But generally speaking, this is about truing up, not about altering anything. It's about keeping it as it was based on the new data.
So this question,
Yeah, we don't send any requests to departments of what do you, like we do at big budget, what do you need? What do you want this year? We don't do that at this point. It's a true up time.
so would this not be the time to ask for some money? No?
At major budget amendment?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Oh. Yes, right.
Oh, from you, baby. Did you say it's from a councilman? It could be yes.
Yeah.
What do you want funded? Money.
Now, yeah.
I don't. It was so funny.
That's low key and insulting that man. She said, yup. He even spoke to me. Yeah, of course he got something to say now. Oh yeah, it's like you said, it's election time. Now, this is not the time. So again, if you knew your job, you knew this wasn't the time to ask for something, right? If you knew as when it comes up to the budget, you would have
Now
known that,
you up
right?
for re-election. You up for re-election, so you had a full 4 years in.
Huh?
He's up for re-election, so he had a full 4 years in.
Yeah. So in those 4 years, you didn't know nothing about the budget. That's why he's laughing at him. He probably saying this sucker is dumb. This ain't the time to ask for money. Okay, I'm sorry. Still not voting for him. I got you, Miss Washington.
Okay. Anybody have questions? Well, I need a motion and a second to take this to council. I need a motion and a second to take this before council.
Move.
Second.
Okay, I got a motion and a second to take this to full council. At this time, this committee is closed.
Sorry about that, Mr. Johnson.
Yeah,
You could sit right here.
so we got another.
Okay, good afternoon. Economic Workforce and Planning Development Agenda, January 17. I'm the chairperson along with Malcolm Larman and Mr. Chuck Fowler. 4:30 PM to hear an update from the administration on the status of Blight Court.
Okay. We have hearing officers were the first thing that we put in place. Dan, you can come up in case you might want to have to answer something. So here's where we are, what we're working through right now on the proper strategies moving forward. We're making some comparisons, Mr. Lawverdane, on whether to target for this clusters, target gateways, look at age-related targets, look at size-related targets, or look at safety-related targets.
What does that mean?
Real simple. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what I'll usually tell you guys about any needs-based assessment is 2 things would happen. If someone said, I need this on my street, you would look at 2 things. How long have they been in the queue versus other people waiting on a project, and need-based, or both. So you could have a need-based thing, a line blows out. It could jump ahead of everything else in the queue because it's now needs-based, right? When you look at where we should go focus, and this is commercial focus for these courts, we have talked a lot, and I think the council has been very wise in this, and I think it's been led a lot by Mr. Johnson, and I think by the president of the council as well, and all of you have weighed in, that we should be looking at more clustering. Instead of always trying to spread everything, like put one here and here, it may politically make some of your constituents happy because you're doing everything, but then you're not making a big change in an area that can trickle out and do more. So that would be a cluster versus just open. Doesn't mean you only do cluster. It just means that's one of the focuses. The other would be gateways. Should we be looking at targets on the gateways as you come in the city? Because it's the first impression that outside people see of the city. So shouldn't we be focused on gateways? That would be another focus. Age-related targets is, again, looking at sort of the queue, but just how old is it? The more something degrades, breaks down over time, and you don't take care of it, the worse their problems are. So you have a commercial structure. It's been there longer. It's got more and more loss of tensile strength. It's going to be more and more of a danger. It's more and more of a fire hazard. It's more and more negative everything, the longer it sits there with an unabated problem. Size related is just what it sounds like. Some things are so big, their ability for them to cause some kind of catastrophic or injury to other property around it is greater. And then finally, safety related, which corresponds to at least the last 2, age and size. Safety related would be the guest house.
So you said.
It's all 3.
On the guest house. So you're telling me this light court is initially going to be focusing on commercial properties?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, can you tell me how many commercial properties fit this?
Well, we're looking at a batch of about 10 to 12 to get started with.
Okay.
In the ownership research and mortgagee research, all the interested parties right now. Hopefully, we're looking at a matter of weeks, not months, to get it started.
Okay.
In Alexandria, there are more, say, blighted residential properties than commercial. However, these councils typically attacked those blighted residential properties through the condemnation process.
Mhm.
Commercials have largely, for multiple reasons, been difficult, not impossible, but difficult to address through condemnation, demolition. Often you have asbestos and and other environmental issues. It's more expensive, frankly. So typically the council shied away from that, which has left this gap. So we think that starting with commercials is the
But-
right way to go.
But ultimately, the blight court can do commercial and residential.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Okay. All right, now, when are we going to get started?
So, Mr. Lawberdane, your brother will be part of it. We have gotten the green light from at least one House rep member. We're going to be talking to, putting you on the spot, but he's the Brett. We're going to be talking to Ed too.
That's no problem.
We're going to copy this Monroe bill, pass that to you. And rather than me read it, I'm going to give it to you to read, but we've got a little summary here for you of the bill that we're going to introduce this session. And I haven't read the title yet. I generally know what it is. Daniel would be able to recite it, but you're capable and can look and make some determinations. You may want to discuss some of those items, but we want to get a bill now that will give us some of the increases in jurisdiction and also ultimately some of those administrative, some of the authorities to change what we're locked into.
I got a question. Wait until you hear what he says about the playground equipment. Okay, cool. Okay, so I got a question. If Danny is in the position to do what they pay him to do, or he got this job, why is it Jock always talking? Y'all ever notice that? Because you knew this was going to come up because Malcolm said he wanted to get a rundown on what's going on with the blight court. He started talking commercial. The blight court wasn't about, if I'm not mistaken, it was more talking about residential. They're talking about commercial. I mean, I could be wrong. I might have missed something somewhere. Maybe I just missed something. Miss Linda Bell, do you remember this conversation a long time ago when they first started talking about the blight court? I thought it was to take care of the houses. Now we talking commercial. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Okay. Go.
But it'll be some steps.
So what's the purpose of this bill?
So currently under state law, a municipality the size of Alexandria is limited in what its administrative bureau would be able to handle. So your property maintenance issues are limited to really blighted properties and nuisance. Fire code is okay, environmental is okay, but we're not allowed to do zoning currently. So
So what does that mean, zoning?
So if you have, if you're using the wrong use in your property, it was land use zoning, so everything.
So in essence, if a person wants to use their house for a business and.
That would be an example, of course, yeah, very
Okay.
easy example, right? So currently, we have to send them these letters, bring them to city court. A lot of places, Monroe included, based on the size, they have asked the legislature to be allowed to address things such as zoning and expand what the hearing bureau is allowed to hear.
Now, has this bill been pre-filed?
I don't think so, no.
Because the deadline is, I think, tomorrow, I believe.
It's going to make the deadline.
It's going to make the deadline.
Good.
People working.
Okay.
I am told by Ms. McGills and Mr. Gist that it's gone, but he doesn't look confident, at least from the side.
And who's the rep sponsoring it?
At this point in time, we've spoken to Mr. DeWitt.
Okay.
I'm going to speak to your brother. You know how it kind of works. They each have so many.
That they can introduce.
And this is one of the things y'all talked about for the last few months. So we feel it's important.
Okay.
And we need to get something started on.
We brought it up to you tonight because we were hoping you would ask.
I can ask him. I can ask him. Yeah. I can ask him.
That's perfectly how it should work.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not wrong
I
with that at all.
I agree with you on that.
And to be a policy of the city, y'all have to know about it. So we're trying to move in that direction.
Okay.
I have a question. It's modeled after Monroe's bill.
Well,
And
Monroe,
More than
Slidell, there's a number of cities of a certain population that have asked to have the same powers that Baton Rouge has. And you're gonna hear about Baton Rouge does this, or Shreveport does this.
we can't do what they do.
That we can't do because of the legislature, some of those things. And we want to be on the same footing as some of our, like Monroe. Monroe went a couple of years ago, so did Slidell. It's the same language that we're asking, that the city be given those same powers.
So, all right, I'll make sure the rep gets this. Now, when is the blight court gonna go online?
We're hoping in weeks, maybe a couple months. I mean, we're working through the ownership issues. As you know, to meet due process concerns, we have to be sure to notify all the interested parties.
Okay, all right.
And we didn't want to sort of trickle it out. We kind of want to have a nice batch to get started.
Mayor, you said pre-filing date is tomorrow, by the
I
14th?
think it is. I
Well,
think
what
it
I
is.
have is the pre-filing date is
Okay.
It's a
Friday.
legislative.
Okay.
Legislative, they go into session on March the 9th. And
I
they
thought
have-
it was Friday too, Mr. Green. I think we were probably given an artificial, like, if you don't get it to me by tomorrow, I might have trouble by Friday. We've got some advertising requirements. I wish Kay were down here. She would know all this by heart. You may.
Well, I
Okay.
was saying, what I was saying was what I had received, that the legislature goes into effect March the 9th. Pre-filing bill dates is deadline February 27th. They may be incorrect, but I got this from the state. So that's why I was saying when you guys said tomorrow, that's cutting it close. But I think Mr. Representative Larvin has pre-filed some bills. I'm not sure if this was inclusive of that, but in keeping up with the legislatures and the other entities across the state, I just wanted to make sure we were all on one accord. You're saying tomorrow, January the 14th, and this is February the 27th. So either or, as long as we get it done. We'll see.
I got that date from my brother.
No, it's tomorrow.
Got my brother.
What
yeah.
you're not looking at is in the Constitution, if something is just a local special law, it applies to Alexandria, it applies to Rapids Parish.
There's your 250. That right there is your $250 an hour right here. Nepo baby, right there. His dad wrote the homeroom charter, and he got the job after that. He'd been sitting there for 40 years. I don't know. He's being young. Okay. He said, start with this. Yep. Exactly. Ain't that something? Yeah, that's your Nepo baby right there.
That's called local and special law. Now, you have to get that done, and it's not just the introduction, it has to be advertised so many days ahead of the deadline. And the staff in Baton Rouge at the House and the staff at the Senate, they have their own internal deadlines.
At Homewood, and one of the attendees was impressed at the level of demolition that's taking place in District 1. So I want to thank you for that, and let's keep it up, because we still got some more work to do.
Thank you, Daniel. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Daniels. Thank you.
Just one last question on it. Would y'all find it offensive or mind at all if I sent a simple letter for you guys? I'll make sure it's not a straw vote of anything, but just to rate. I didn't think about the church and schools. I think that's a huge one. So clusters, gateways, age-related size, safety, churches. Could we kind of talk about what your priorities would be? That will help us. And then we can group them, right? We can assign points and say, look, if you're age-related, safety, and this, you go up here. But we really need to think about that, and you should weigh in, especially district members, on what your priorities are, especially, Gary, if we're talking about clustering, then you need to be saying what you think is the most important cluster, because you're going to be on the ground knowing it. If clustering is really still one of our targets.
Yeah, Councilman Marvin,
I'll send the letter. Y'all can decide how we answer it.
the idea about
Well, by
being
Bolton-
mindful about churches
by
and
Bolton,
schools.
there's some
we got
light around Bolton.
Yeah.
There's some senior quarters around some schools and churches. I just think if you go into a church house, you should not be seeing a dilapidated house in front of near your church. or school. So, you know,
I will add that.
Well, and kids walk to school.
and all that.
from school,
So,
here in the neighborhood, so.
Thank you for the feedback.
all right.
Okay, that's it. Close this meeting. Thank you kindly.
Showtime, huh?
Six is now called to order. Alexandria City Council meetings and council committee meetings are broadcast live and may be viewed live by the public on Optum Channel 4. A rebroadcast may be viewed on Optum Cable Channel 4 and the City of Alexandria website. We have our invocation by Ms. Steen. I need a motion and a second, please. Motion by Councilman Fowler, second by Councilman Ballard. Public comments. What section of the written minutes would you like to make a comment on? If it's not in the written minutes, there will not be any discussion or comments, only in the minutes. If you have any questions pertaining to any items on the agenda, please contact the administration before or after the meeting. Discussion? Mr. White?
Yes, ma'am.
Now make sure this is pertaining to the minutes of
I
December
understand.
16th.
I understand directly, Madam President, so thank you.
You're welcome.
First, I want to wish a happy new year to everybody, and hopefully this year will go well. Really enjoying the way everything has started out so far. Like I said, Madam President, I just, I wish you would let the people speak after y'all have finished all your business and y'all vote on it and see how each one of y'all would vote on having us speak.
On the minutes.
I'm just asking.
Not in the minutes.
You know, I know it's not a part of the minutes.
We can consider it, but it has to be a
I understand, but I'm just asking, like I said.
collaborative effort.
Yes, ma'am.
All
Thank you,
right.
ma'am.
You're welcome. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried.
Consent calendar, number one. Introduction of an ordinance authorizing the mayor to declare certain items surplus and no longer needed or used by city departments to be sold at a public auction scheduled for Saturday, March 7, 2026.
A motion, please. Second.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Fowler, second by Councilman Johnson. Any items to committee?
Did you do, okay, yeah, resolution. Resolution to co-sponsor a free youth symposium in March 2026 at Franco Hunter Park in conjunction with Mu Eta Sigma chapter of Sigma Gamma Rho.
A motion, please.
Move.
Second.
Second.
Second by Councilman Lawberdane. Motion by Councilman Lawberdane, second by Councilman Johnson. Public comment. Mr. White,
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
you're welcome.
This is a good way to start the new year off by having this youth symposium. And I hope people will, on the 15th, they're having a big thing at LaBorde Earls. He be lifted up. So we need stuff like that. There are people coming from all over these states coming right here for that. So I agree that we need more stuff for the youth. That'll keep them out of trouble and everything. So this is a good idea. And on the 15th, on Thursday at 7 p.m., free tickets, Lord led and fed. So
Thank
I
you.
hope a lot of people will attend from all over the states and parish.
Thank you, Mr. White. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried.
Number three, resolution to co-sponsor a CPR workshop in 2026 at Bolton Avenue Community Center or Broadway Community Center in conjunction with Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, Alexandria, Louisiana, Lumina chapter.
A motion, please.
Move. Second.
Motion.
Exactly. He don't like to be questioned. Nope. Okay, so can I say something, y'all? And there's nothing against anybody's organization. It's amazing that everybody now coming out with all these different symposiums and stuff. And I'm not knocking it's great idea, whatever. But they quiet through the rest of the year. Anybody? Is it me? Tell me if I'm wrong. Do y'all see that? Because maybe I missed something last year. I could have missed something. So they do a lot of stuff at the beginning of the year, and then the rest of the year nothing happens. Can somebody answer me that? Hello? Hello?
Huh?
I'm asking a question.
What?
I know you ain't sleep. Exactly. Okay. I thought I just want to be. I'm not trying to be right about everything, but I just noticed that I don't hear anything from them like when it comes to the rest of the year. Okay, I'm gonna leave that alone because I don't want to make nobody mad because I'm not part of. I'm not in those type of organization. But I got you. Okay, thank you for that answer.
By Councilman Fowler, second by Councilman Valord. Public comments. Mr. White,
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
you're welcome.
I want to tell everybody quickly, my mom, Mrs. Jonetta Robinson White, was the founding member of the Deltas here. And I'm so glad that they're putting this workshop together. I think that's another positive thing with CPR and stuff. Life-saving measures are really good. So I hope the Divine Nine, I hope some more of them will come. Yeah, some more. The Omegas and all the rest of the Divine Nine come and do different things for the public throughout the year. So
Thank you. I agree with you on that.
Mr. White, happy Founder's Day to your mother.
oh, yeah, that's right. Thank you, Mr. Goins. Today is Founder's Day. This is when the Deltas were started. What is it? Almost 100 years?
13 years.
113 years. There you go. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
H, ordinances for final adoption subject to public hearing. Number 4, to consider final adoption of an ordinance authorizing the mayor to accept the low bid submitted for playground improvements project.
Motion, please.
Move.
Second.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Valord, second by Councilwoman Felter. Public comments. Mr. White,
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
you're welcome.
Again, by improving our playgrounds and everything, it gives the youth somewhere to go instead of a idle mind being the devil's workshop. So that, I salute that on redoing the playgrounds. Thank you.
Thank you. I also have a comment on this ordinance. I would like to take full part in this. Whenever you meet with the bidders or whenever you decide on whatever playground equipment that you will be putting in the parks, I would like to play a major role in this as well.
We had asked for this to be on comment. We almost were going to delay it, but I don't think y'all want to do that. I didn't. It came in high.
Yeah, I noticed that.
So I didn't give a recommendation, up or down, but I'm going to go ahead and, I said preliminarily, yes. I'm going to say, I recommend you take it. We spent, Mr. Goins, about a week and a half to 2 weeks really combing through it. It's high, but not crazy. It's 2.7 the winner, 2.7 million. And with all these two additional alternatives, it came to 2,782. So may I approach all of you?
Yes.
So y'all have the sheet, and forgive some of my writing, but you can see I was taking notes. But Mr. Lauderdale is the legal chair. If you look, when I look at the numbers and just divide the difference between
It's in your book.
the gaps between them, what you don't see is huge gaps. So one of the red flags we would get is if someone were to come in at 2.2 and the next one is 3.8 or whatever, but the 2.2 is over, then you're thinking, I don't know, what's going on here? They're all really close. So think about what we do when we issue a bid. We look at it, we give our best guess of what it would cost, that looks like the market is answering that. Maybe our best guess is lower than what the market says. Obviously, it can go the other way. That's not how, it also can be the market is inflating and they're not unitizing everything as well, et cetera. We called our architect and engineer who made the recommendations. We really took this to the ground. If you were even to delay it, you'd still make the 45-day rule. I don't think if you look at how close they all were, and remember, we bid it all to do all so that we can then break out those parts. You're either going to lose one or it could even be more next time. So I'm going to recommend it, but I thought y'all maybe about it being over. I'm going to go on record and say the due diligence of looking at this being over, we've done. And we've done heavy. And so I'm going to recommend that you go ahead and accept the low bid, and we're then going to comb through again. But I have asked that architect and engineering firm to give me a unit. Why is this over and in what areas? And I want to see why.
Well, I don't know about the others. I'm tired of seeing the barricades around the park equipment.
Well, actually, it's been, Rex, when I actually going on 5 years that we don't have anything in the parks for the children. So personally, I can speak for myself. If it's 2 point whatever, I think we need to go ahead and do what need to be done. To those
It's
parks.
18% over.
That's good.
So that's my recommendation, and that's what I suggest, that we move forward with this.
I think it's worth it, and because all the bids were very similar, I think that we just projected low.
So
So we continuously speak of quality of life. And as Ms. Perry interjected, Franco Hunter Park has been 5 years minus. So the children the parents need to see the children being engaged, and we need to move forward. We have multiple bids, thank God, and we can move forward with this, is my opinion. Thank you.
Anyone else?
I mean, how long will it take? Like we approve this, how long will it take for
us to
equipment,
start?
for equipment to be installed?
Can't give you a date today, but I'll give you one in writing of what we think.
Okay, yeah.
I don't see my
Look,
part.
it's not, they're not.
I'm just hoping for at least springtime, we can
Yeah,
have
no,
something.
no, yeah, it's not a,
I was,
yeah, it isn't what it used to be. There's a lot of rules for equipment now. They have to meet all kind of national standards, but it's also not building a road. There's the standards that mean the quality has to be a certain way, also standardize how they're installed. So that adds to it being done quicker, if that makes sense to you. Takes longer to make sure you have all those things, but then it gets done quicker because the installations are also sort of standard.
So should this equipment be installed before springtime?
No, I don't think so. You have to-
Well, will school be,
when
school lets out?
So it won't all happen at once. Let me give you, that's what Ms. Perry was asking about. Let's look at a plan. What you're doing tonight is you're not rejecting it for being 18% over, which is good, because that means we keep them all. So that's everything that we've done. No park has to come off. Nothing is, you didn't lessen anything. You didn't take an alternative that takes it down. So we still have to go through and we can look at it, but all the parks that were in the plan are there.
well, let me add something. We discussed this probably about 6 months ago or so. And I thought we would discuss it again before tonight. And I wanted to add 2 of my parks, which is they are not major parks, and not major money. And I'm gonna look at this right here and I need a couple $100,000 just to take care of 2 of my parks.
You need a couple of $100,000?
Yes. Yes, but we got small parks.
Just because they're passive. And like I told you, that
I already did the one.
I can do that.
Yes.
That can come out of a different line item. Doesn't have to come out of this major one. So Tanya has already identified, you have a line item listed in it that it's all in, but we already have another park improvements line item that can cover this difference. So it's already there.
I don't want anybody from getting their parks done.
I understand.
But,
No.
I definitely want to include two of my parks.
Which parks are we missing for you, sir?
Deerfield and the one in Martin Park.
Mark,
HDQ,
HDQ is there.
still a park. HDQ, that's the one you're talking about.
That's the deer.
For deer.
I call it Deerfield.
That's the name of the park,
Uh-huh.
HDQ.
Okay, but Deerfield, I mean, it's the same difference.
AKH HDQ.
So we got Deerfield, which is HDQ, and what, Martin Park? I'm just
Martin Park.
noting this as we
Yes.
go. Thank you.
Those are the two I want added. And we could either add it in this one, but I need those parks done.
It can't be added to this thing right here.
So
This is a bid.
the last administration, so in my last time, Spark did both HDQ, new parks, and did the whole redo of Martin Park.
Right.
I can't speak, this is, our next version of it is right now, this is all of it.
And there's a, I know what the lines changed, there's a park by the levee. Up at Third.
Up a third?
Up at
All
Third.
right.
Yeah, there
Yes.
is.
There's a park on up at Third.
Yeah.
So by this being an ordinance, what do I need to do?
Family reunions and stuff, they use that.
We'll craft you a separate ordinance that does your two out of the
Okay.
money.
I have a question now. There's a park. I'm not- I think
Upper
it's
Third,
Upper Third,
Lincoln Park.
on the other side of the levee.
yeah.
And there's one by some automotive stores.
Yeah,
I think
it's
that's,
Lincoln Park.
That's Lincoln.
but there's also one on the other side of the levee too,
North Levy.
North Levee.
Mhm.
Okay, but
Those are my, yeah.
those are yours. Okay.
So you want to craft that with mine?
Lincoln Park is fine, yeah. We can do it.
Yeah, North Levees, we did have a deal with Red River Waterway Commission about that one. I'll have to check and see what they're still doing. That one, that's a isolated park.
But people.
Those are, I understand,
But
but it's
people use that area a lot during the summertime. I know. That's why I know with fishing and whatnot, so it's a boat launch nearby.
that's right.
So let's do this right here.
So with Lincoln Park,
Let's do, you and I get together. Is that other park in your district?
No, those two.
no, both of them in mine.
Let's,
But the main one would be Lincoln Park.
Lincoln Park. So we got
Mhm.
Lincoln Park, HD.
Deerfield,
I would say Deerfield with HDQ and we'll do a separate one for
I
that.
think we just did some stuff at Lincoln.
I think Lincoln
Yeah,
Park.
we're gonna
I'll
give
go
y'all
back through, but I
the
think
list y'all did it
Uh,
not major budget, at budget, we kind of had the priorities and there was some
Right.
degree of satisfaction. We-
right.
But there was some degree, we're gonna show you those and how the money would come out and then
And I know Harmon,
you can look at the other
I know-
ones.
and I know
You
Harmon.
gotta have a first set tier.
Yeah,
Yeah, this is just accept the bids.
Yeah.
This is for-
but I know Harmon needs some attention too. Yeah, it needs some attention, so.
Okay.
All right, but we'll talk about that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
rethink it.
Motion carried.
Number 5,
That's
to
what this
consider
special
final
for.
adoption of an ordinance authorizing the mayor to execute a contract for qualified electric line worker services.
Motion, please.
Move.
Second.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Ballard, second by Councilwoman Felter. Public comments, discussion. All in-
Yes.
I'm sorry.
I think it was last meeting before last, that Councilman Fowler kind of asked about the electrical workers. I know this is electrical lines. Are we compiled that report yet?
So this is exactly what we talked about in the MBA. We're short on linemen, the very position that is most critical that we need. And this is allowing us to contract out more of those services because we're not able to attract them to come in because of that pay issue.
Tell
So
me something, could the trade school offer a program that trains them and we could use them?
yeah, they currently do.
Okay, is there any way we can use that or?
Yeah, it's just pay.
I guess, I mean, if people are using us as a training ground, well, let's use trade school to feed us.
But the ones that go to trade school for the first crop are going to leave every time for Clico or any other ones where they're paid.
Well,
We get who is not hired in that, they stay a year, get trained up, and then
But is there any way we could offer, I mean, how long is the training? Do you know? For linemen, do you know?
2 years.
2 years? Okay. Is there any way we can put them to use for us during that 2-year period? But I'm just looking at creative ways to fill some of these needs because we're gonna have to do some things different.
Let me ask you a question on that. So if you put them on before they train, are you opening yourself up for someone to get?
I understand those logistics need to be worked out.
Nah, the
But
pay
can we,
worked out.
do something different to use those gentlemen or young ladies or?
Or something like when you have,
Like an intern?
I'll tell you what the problem is.
Okay.
You're going to work for somebody, you go for $28 with the city, you go for $48 with anybody else.
I was gonna say, it's $20 difference.
so, but what you're saying also, Malcolm, it's like, say a college student graduate, I don't know if they still do it or not.
Internship.
Cabrini hires them.
Internship.
Yeah, Cabrini hires them and we're gonna pay your tuition or whatever, but you're obligated to us for 4 years or 2 years.
No, we're civil service, like, there's so many things that we can't do what you're saying. It's just not how it works with civil service. You don't have internships of that kind. You can't put someone under-trained in civil service in a job where the other people in civil service create a pay class for that and so linemen are one of the biggest liability issues there are. Some plaintiff lawyers probably make money on lineman cases, but linemen get hurt. Sometimes catastrophic. I didn't mean to say you did that, John.
I'm just,
It's not gonna be developed because
we're
money
gonna have
talks.
I understand money talks, but I'm just trying to find ways for us to fill some of these needs.
To get what we need to
I
be
think
at.
that looking at innovative and unorthodox ways are right. You've been doing it on a lot of different stuff. I think on this one, Gary just happens to be, this is a straight cash question. It's $20 difference. And we're constrained by civil service.
Well,
I wish we could, you talk about legislation again, maybe, so the state can double encumber jobs, do all kind of things for succession and planning that we can't have. They can know that someone maybe is going to be retiring and move them into a slot where they can have a pay difference. We don't have any of that available to us.
So here's the deal, Mayor. We only have 2 employees. You have the other 99 to 1,000. So you're responsible for day-to-day operations and you come to us saying we're short. How can we, the only way to fill it is to pay. I just kind of said, I just think it's important that we try to be creative and find ways to say yes as opposed to just accept the normal no, because, you and I both know laws change all the time.
Yeah.
And if we can get the local delegation on board, who knows what we can do if we're pushing, for different outcomes. So that's all I'm saying. Let's just.
I agree
we gotta
with
be
you.
creative.
And this one to me coming, no, this is the solution right now. You got to have contract workers to perform the job.
Well, let's kind of look at some of the alternatives, let's see if we can do anything other than, I don't know.
All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried.
Number 6, to consider final adoption of an ordinance authorizing the 2025-2026 major budget amendment.
Motion, please. Second. Motion by Councilman Fowler, second by Councilman Johnson. Public comments. Mr. White. All right. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried.
Number 7, to consider final adoption of an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a service agreement with Hanson Banner LLC for upgrade of the current utility customer service software.
Motion, please.
Move.
Second. Motion by Councilman Ballard, second by Councilman Fowler. Public comments. Mr. White,
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
you're welcome.
On this, I just wanted to know, since they're talking about a software upgrade, is this because of the hack attack or anything, or is this to prevent a hack attack on the utility department?
This is just to bring, you have to constantly upgrade your software. And we're
So
doing
you're just
That's just a-
upgrading it? Okay. y'all aware of AI? I know Malcolm was talking about, trying to lower things and stuff like that. So I was just curious. That's all.
It's just a regular upgrade.
Okay.
All right, you're welcome.
Now, Ms.
Oh,
Perry,
yes, sir.
before we go, this upgrade is implemented or going to be implemented? Is this what occurred during the Thanksgiving break?
That was part of it, and it went off well. We're really pleased. So this one's bigger than just a normal upgrade. It's has function that we don't go a lot into hack stuff. You don't want to attract people who like to challenge cities, because there are people who do. But we've been with Banner a long time. This is a major upgrade, and this is phase 2, but this is on a leg of redoing ITIS all across the city for lots of reasons, inclusive of some of the ones tonight. But this is really more about customer service. This is specific to customer service, the ability to allow people a lot of different choices, how they do things, how they interact with the city, how that software talks, communicates, lets people know when people have problems, gets the problem solved better, et cetera. When this is all done, you guys will have been part of a major upgrade to our customer service. So this is very important.
All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried.
Number 8, to consider final adoption of an ordinance authorizing the mayor to accept the proposal received from Meyer, LaCroix, and Hickson for water well reclamation project professional services.
Motion, please.
Move.
Second.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Valord, motion by Councilman Valord, second by Councilwoman Felter. Public comments, Mr. White,
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Madam President.
you're welcome.
On this water well project, and like I said, I wish y'all would take it up on this carbon capture, because if it hits our groundwater, we won't have nothing but acid to drink. We'll be like Flint, Michigan. So I wish y'all would take up carbon capture. All these other little entities and surrounding areas and the parish has taken up carbon capture, and I'm totally against it.
All right.
Because trees and stuff take the carbon and turn it
Miss-
noxious.
We have the best water in the state of Louisiana.
I know, but if that hits our groundwater supply, we won't have the best water.
I don't
That's
think there are
the
any
point.
potential carbon.
No.
Oh, yes, there is.
In Alexandria.
It doesn't
No.
matter. Once they hit the aquifers, it's going to
But
pollute
this
the
is not
whole
what this
aquifer.
item,
He's an
Mr.
expert on it.
Mr. Valord. This is not what this item is about.
I know, honey.
Okay.
I know. I got
All
it.
right, thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Number 9, to consider final adoption of an ordinance to declare surplus and authorize the sale of a certain city-owned 5.204 acre tract of land together with improvements located adjacent to Industrial Port Road and other matters related thereto.
Motion, please.
Move.
Second. Motion by Councilman Valord, second by Councilman Fowler. Public comments, discussion, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried.
Number 10, to consider final adoption of an ordinance rezoning property located at 1734 Abbott Street, Alexandria, Louisiana, from SF2 Single Family District to B1 Neighborhood Business District.
Motion, please.
Move.
Second.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Valord, second by Councilwoman Fowler. Public comments. Mr. White,
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
you're welcome.
Now, is this that nursing home that y'all talked about last year, or is
No.
this something?
It's not.
Oh, it's something different?
On Abbott Street. There's no-
Okay, I was just I don't know what it is.
No, sir, it's not
There's
the
no,
nursing home.
There's no nursing homes on Abbott Street.
No, but I'm saying, is it a building?
It's gonna be a neighborhood
Old Christian
business.
Science Reading Room building, right by the police station. You know the building? Right across from the,
You talking about Sears, where old Sears building was at?
well,
Yeah,
look, all this is they're taking a building that had an historic use that could be a little more than where it's residential only, and we're allowing some folks to come in and you have a very thoughtful use in it. In business, it's going to be consistent with the integrity of the neighborhood. The neighborhood wants it, and they live next door, and so they'll be able to do business and live there. And it's, if you
Oh.
look at that area from across from St. James. There's the former
Okay.
Sears building, all that. It's
Right.
3 down.
Mhm.
3 down. It's the old Christian Science reading room building, fondly called down maybe the sanctuary, the church. And
Oh,
it has a little sign there. They'll put little funny sayings and cute stuff on it. It's a
Okay.
good, there's nothing.
You're right, Miss Linda. There's a whole different attitude. He's actually looking at Mr. White, which surprised the hell out of me because you know he don't like to look at Mr. White at all. Yeah, when it's one of them, yeah, that's true. He can't hide it. The problem is Jock can't hide it. He can't hide his way of treating us when it comes to them. Yeah, he can't hide that. He doesn't know how, and he doesn't want to. You got to remember he's in Trump era, so he don't have to.
Nothing negative about it.
Are,
I haven't heard
Don't
any.
make, look,
are they the
don't make
ones?
people
Are
look
y'all
dirty.
the ones with it?
Yeah.
Can they speak if they want to? I mean, if you want to, because I think Mr. White wanted to know something about it. That's
Can you, ma'am, excuse me, excuse me.
I didn't.
It's okay, Mr. White, it's okay. It's okay.
I'm not trying to take.
It's
I'm
okay.
just asking.
It's okay. It's okay. Would you like to say a little bit about your business? Okay. Yes, please.
The official.
My name is Brianna Bolin, and I have owned a salon downtown inside the Holiday Inn for the last 8 years. I've been a stylist working in Alexandria for 13. I'm purchasing or proposing to purchase the building next to my house, which is the church, to turn it into my salon and business. I have a new baby and 2 young children, so it's very convenient, but also is very, I think will be a great addition to our neighborhood. I have lots of neighbors who are clients of mine, and I feel like it's a great idea, and I'm just kind of hoping that you guys do too.
I do.
They work with us and scale 1 or 2 back to make it as very carefully a limited use for what they want to do, so it doesn't expand if they ever sold or moved
And
and
where
change the integrity of
is
the
John?
neighborhood.
Jonathan Bolin is my
Yeah,
husband.
okay,
And Jonathan is her husband,
But
who's
great.
at the MPO.
great. My boys can still come
Who does
over.
a great
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Look at this.
Okay,
Look
It's a
great.
beautification business. Put it that way.
Of the building and everybody else, yes,
Well,
sir.
we're glad. I'm definitely glad you guys are getting it.
I'm
Um,
excited too.
It's a beautiful building,
I agree.
and I know you know it. So, I'm happy for you, and I'm glad that you got up to tell us a little bit about it. And once again, I'm gonna drop the boys off.
All right, thank you.
Okay. All right.
Wow.
All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried.
Where are you?
I know that did. Did you see that? Okay. All right. All right. All right. That was interesting. Okay. It reminded me of a Reddick, Washington. That's what that just reminded me of. What y'all think? I'm sorry, y'all. All right. You guys, we did good timing. We don't have you out here till midnight. Yep. Mm-hmm. Most likely Latasha probably is, but this is how business is done, and we just sit up there and we laugh and joke with them because you got to be inclusive now. Everybody, only they can be exclusive. You can't be exclusive. You're not allowed to. You got to be inclusive. You got to add everybody in, but they don't. Keep in mind, you're not invited to their tables, okay? But your table better be open for a couple of them. I promise you that, okay? Because they'll complain and they'll make it bad for you if you don't have that table open for them, a couple of chairs sitting up there. That's why my son can come over and play at Johnny Downs when everybody else kids can't. And that's why my boys can still come over, right? I'm so done. If that didn't sound like, let me quit. I'm sorry. I'm done. I wasn't trying to, I'm just making a comment, Well, okay, you guys, we have had a great night tonight. Thank you guys for hanging out with us here on the Universal Collective Network Can Be Frank show. Don't forget to share that we are 9 years in. Thank you guys for each and every one of you who liked and congratulated us on our milestone. We're going to keep this rolling as much as we can. Yeah, I'm so excited. Now, before we go, I want to thank each and every one of you guys again, because I love thanking you guys. I want to thank Brother Jay. I said it earlier, but I'm going to say it again because Brother Jay was the mind behind Universal Collective Network. We were on the phone one night, and I said, I want us to have a platform where we, Black folks, can talk and be comfortable in talking and don't worry about getting kicked off and all this crazy stuff. So I said, we need a name. So Brother Jay, if you guys don't know who Brother Jay is, that's Brother Leroy Ballo. You'll probably see him. I've been on his show several times. We've done a lot of things together. So he said, let's come up with a name. So we sitting up there rattling around names. And he said, what about Universal Collective Network? I said, oh my God, awesome sauce. So that's where Universal Collective Network came from 9 years ago. A conversation of two Black people who are in the business of making sure our Black folks are very much so well informed on what's going on around them. And that name came up. And then the other names came afterwards. He came up with Adults in the Room. You guys don't know that show. That was an adult show, brother. I tell you who do know. Yeah, Nat Turner knows what Adults in the Room. We talk about bringing that back, Nat, eventually. So these different names and the concept behind them, that's minds coming together, working with people who wanted to see that take place. And as you guys know, he is on the radio station in Lafayette, which we are very much so involved in. And we also are with AOC, Acadiana Open Community Communications, which is a nonprofit organization, almost like Channel 4. It would be our Channel 4, okay? But they're surrounded by 6 parishes that you get an opportunity to be part of. And Cox Cable funds them, and LUS Fibers fund them. So they're funded by other people that encourage their communities to be part of what the information pipeline for their communities. So being part of that, I've been with them for a minute. I've had the opportunity to do a television show. I'm with Universal Collective Network Television, and then also I have a show that I have on there also that I have on my other channel, on my YouTube channel. So what I'm saying is Universal Collective Network opened this door for us to actually expand and do other things on top of just doing these podcasts. Some person told us one time, y'all just talking on the telephone. That's all y'all doing. 9 years later, we still talking on the telephone. I just want to let y'all know that. We still talking on the telephone. And we still being very effective in talking on the telephone, since our show is nothing but a telephone conversation. Okay? And we're still doing it 9 years later. And to all the people, all the businesses that we have sponsored on this show for a long time, we want to say thank you. Since we didn't get a thank you from you guys, we're going to say thank you for giving us that opportunity to shout out your businesses on our show. And our list kept getting longer and longer and longer. I had a 3-page list of businesses, all Black-owned businesses that we shouted out on this show daily. daily. Okay? So I am not saying this to brag. I am just going down memory lane because we deserve it. Universal Collective Network deserve it. The classes we taught deserve it. The people who became part of us deserve it. That's every one of you guys in this chat right now who has been with us. Y'all all deserve it. Thank you. Thank you for sticking out with us. Thank you for being there for us. Thank you even when we couldn't come on. People would DM us when we didn't come on because they was like, what's going on? Where y'all at? Why we can't hear from y'all? I want to thank each and every one of those people. Thank you for allowing us to do the work we do. Thank you even for the people who wanted to jump us in the parking lot because we were talking about what was going on in our cities and in our communities. Thank you. Because you made us better. I hate to say that, but you did. You did. I want to thank each and every person that we worked on their campaigns. Even definitely shout out to Mr. Fuller. Thank you. Mr. Fuller, even though he's gone, he was one of our first people that we worked with. Thank you, even though he's no longer here, for giving us that opportunity to show us. Yeah, giving out our addresses. Yes, that's right. And not having to pull up on some people. Oh, yeah, we've been through some stuff on Universal Collective Network, on the Can We Be Frank show, because of us doing what we're doing. So I'm just saying thank you. Thank you for everything that you've done, because we're still rolling and rocking, and we've been doing it for a minute. Thank you. Thank you so much for this great opportunity. So when we do close the doors, we're not going to close the doors on Universal Collective Network. We'll be probably closing the doors at Can We Be Frank show, but not Universal Collective Network. I can't close that door. But I want to thank everybody, and I keep saying it because this is what's on my spirit right now. Just thanking y'all for being here and showing up every time we open up. Y'all might be late, but every time we open up this show, y'all there. Every time. And I hope this ride has been great for y'all, because it's been great for us. And we're going to continue doing this until we can no longer do it again. And like I said, this is my promise. The Can We Be Frank show, if you guys put Jock Roy back in there again, the Can We Be Frank show will be no longer. I'm just saying. You put them back in there again, not come back on. Okay? Y'all going to have to get your education somewhere else. I'm just saying. All right. So you guys, I want you to have a great night. Thank you for hanging out with us. We shall be back Friday. Remember, Friday is Free Speech Friday. So we get to say whatever we want. Even though tonight Tavares did some cussing, I'm gonna get him for that. He don't get paid. So you guys have a great night. Thank you for hanging out with us. But let me go down my line with all the people that I love, thanking each and every time we end this show. So let's start at the beginning. Let me go all the way up to the top. Thank you, Mr. David. You finally got straightened out. You and Cynthia, y'all were bad today, but that's all right. I'll let y'all get away with it. Next time, you ain't gonna get away with it. And put the dunce hat on you next time. Let me see how I can get up here at the top. Okay, so thank you, Miss Bell. Thank you. I want to thank Miss Bell personally. I want to thank her a little bit separately, because I'm telling you this right here about Miss Bell. Miss Bell will show up at that damn city council meeting no matter what. No matter what, she gonna be there. That's what we need. We need more Miss Linda Bells. We definitely need more Miss Linda Bells. Okay. Thank you, Miss Bell. Miss Bell, I'm gonna tell you like this. I know you saying you don't want to do it, but I think you need to do it. Miss Battles, thank you so much for showing up. Miss Battles will come in when nobody else there. She's looking around like, okay, where everybody else at? Miss Battle will show up. Mr. Turner, always in the house. Mr. Turner, you know already. You know what your look, Mr. Turner, you already know what your duty is. Miss Dixon, thank you. Miss Dixon, y'all. She runs my Black Queens reading page. Thank you for all of that. She does a wonderful job. I love that. I love it. Thank you, Mr. Foshi, for coming in and being bad. Thank you. Let's see who else we got on our list. Miss Finley, she was in the house. I think Miss Finley got to get up and go to work in the mornings, but she was in the house. Thank you, Miss Finley. Showing up and showing out every time. Miss Washington, you're definitely invited back, only if you be good. Okay, I just want to let you know that. Only if you be good, you can come back. You can come back anytime. Let's see here. Y'all know I always have to thank my son. He gets on my nerve, but I love him and he does a great job. He has done a great job. He has been my right hand and the thorn in my side. Okay, for a long time. Let's see who else I don't want to miss nobody. Who else did we have it? Miss Dozier, thank you for stopping in and checking us out. Thank you. Let's see who else is on this list here. Y'all came in and y'all was talking. Y'all were talking. Y'all was saying some stuff. Let's see who else is coming in here. Oh, thank you, Mr. Dirk. Let's see here. Who else we got on here? Y'all, we do have another radio station coming in. Miss Tom, hey, Miss Lynn, I missed you, Miss Linda. Thank you, Miss Linda. Let's see here. Miss Linda, part of the crew. She's been with us for a long time. She's been hanging hard with us. Her and her husband, been right there with us. Her and Mr. Liam. Let's see here. Am I missing somebody else? I want to make sure I get everybody. I don't want to miss nobody. Yeah. Thank you. You're definitely welcome back, Miss Washington. Come on back anytime you want. We'll be back Friday. It's Free Speech Friday, so we can say what we want. We can talk about anything we want. This wasn't really a long meeting, so that's a good thing. So we'll see you guys Friday. Take care, be careful, and we're out. Bye-bye.